My descendants burn incense and worship me like a true immortal. Greetings, fellow multiversal adventurers. It's an honor to have you back in the saga that has us all hooked. Official channel statement: this story is 100% epic fiction, so please don't attempt real magic. The results aren't guaranteed and insurance won't cover it. The rights to this masterpiece belong entirely to its brilliant original author. We are just a barge sharing it with you. Do you want to keep being part of this amazing community? Join our ninja army of subscribers on YouTube and give this content a like. And for true fans, our Patreon has exclusive ninjutsu waiting for you. Chapter 101: Senior Sister Shen Yao. The True Fire Sect is located in the easternmost part of the Blazing Sun Dynasty. This is the hottest place in the Blazing Sun Dynasty. Because it's a magma zone, the fluid magma erupting from volcanoes converges here, forming vast, boundless seas of magma. The fire spiritual energy here is extremely concentrated, greatly increasing the cultivation speed of fire cultivators. Yang Fu wiped the sweat from his brow after leaving the reception hall, looking up to see the air thick with distorted heat. Hot, isn't it? Up. Yang Fu turned his head to see a young female cultivator with large eyes smiling at him. Our True Fire Sect is near the magma sea. The temperature is extremely high. Even the outer sect is constantly above 50 degrees Celsius. Without a heat avoidance technique, it's difficult to withstand. Come, learn the fire avoidance technique with me. The young female cultivator channeled her fire spiritual energy, wisps of it like mist spreading over her body, creating a thin film of flame that blocked the heat waves in the air, while still allowing her to absorb the concentrated fire spiritual energy. Yang Fu glanced at it, then raised his hand and formed the fire avoidance technique. Is that so? Wow, you're quite clever. You're a newly initiated outer disciple? Do you know Hall Master Meng? I just bumped into Hall Master Meng. Judging from your appearance, you don't seem to be related to Hall Master Meng. You're lucky today to have met Shen Yao, the best outer disciple to mentor newcomers. I'll guide you through the basics quickly, then I'll trouble senior sister Shen. Yang Fu smiled shyly, politely, with a slight glint in his eyes. Our True Fire Sect is the best cultivation holy land in the Blazing Sun Dynasty. The outer sect is built on naturally formed obsidian, where fire spiritual energy constantly seeps from the ground. You can absorb countless fire spiritual energy simply by meditating. The inner sect is built in a sea of lava. Look, over there. Those islands are where the inner disciples live and cultivate. If we cultivate to the key refining stage, we can advance to the inner sect and choose an island lord to become our master. In the vast sea of lava, 7 small islands floated, their fire spiritual energy extremely abundant. Yang Fu only glanced at them and knew that they could definitely nurture innate fire spiritual energy. However, advancing to the inner sect is a long way off. Come with me to the outer sect first, get to know the departments, your senior brothers and sisters, and your daily tasks. Along the way, Shen Yao continuously explained various aspects of the True Fire Sect to Yang Fu, giving him a basic understanding of the sect. As Yang Fu learned more, a notification popped up on Yang Genshuo's screen. The Yang family's understanding of the True Fire Sect has deepened, family knowledge increased by 50. The Yang family has accumulated knowledge of 3 cultivation sects. The faction option is now available, allowing you to view the introductions and functions of each faction at any time. A new button appeared on the screen, Faction. After clicking it, Yang Genshuo saw 3 factions, Yang Shi Sect, Danho Sect, and True Fire Sect. Yang Shi Sect, the only immortal cultivation sect in the Danai Dynasty. Sect Master, Zhuanzhen Taoist, Golden Core Stage, Elders, Yang Shi, Foundation Establishment Stage, Wang Hongai, Foundation Establishment Stage, Featured Buildings. Zuanbao Town, Training Room, Thunder Body Refining Room, possesses cultivation techniques. Yang family's deeds, trading in Zuanbao Town. This contains all of Yang Shi's observations about the Yang Shi sect, down to the smallest detail. It also includes character cards that Yang Genshuo himself has reviewed, and even the character card of the gatekeeper in the training room. Yang Genshuo hadn't even looked at some of this information carefully, having fast-forwarded through it. Now he can access this organized information at any time. Wow, this is great. I haven't checked the Yang Shi sect in ages. I can't even remember all the information about some people. Scrolling through the history one by one would be exhausting. This is so clear, it's like the internal affairs system in a national war game. Once you open it, everything is clear at a glance. This is more like a strategy game. Awesome. A cultivation family simulator. Great. As Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo continue to meet more cultivators and learn more in this Hanhero sect and Danhero sect, this information will also be displayed in the factions information. With so many Yang family members, this function is really necessary. Otherwise, no matter how many screens I have, it won't be enough to see everything. Yang Genshuo now has 3 external screens connected to his computer. One for Yang Fu, one for Yang Fushuo, and one shared by Yang Shi and Linghu Manor. He's already overwhelmed. So now he can't just look at the information like he used to only look at Yang Shi, where he could basically keep up with Yang Shi's information. Now he can only see the general picture. If he really wants to understand the situation of a certain descendant, he has to go and see what he has done in the sect. Excellent, excellent. Yang Fu followed senior sister Shen Yao, who was at the 8th level of the nascent soul stage, for half a day, covering the entire outer sect. Alright, I've explained the basics of our true fire sect to you. How was senior sister's explanation? It was very helpful to me. Well, you see, senior sister has led you around for so long, and her throat is dry from talking. Should junior brother do something? Shen Yao blinked her big eyes, looking at Yang Fu expectantly. Senior sister doesn't look down on me because of my lowly status, but instead teaches me earnestly. I'd like to be friends with senior sister. Yang Fu earnestly extended his right hand. Shen Yao paused for a moment, shook it slightly, and then pointed to a small bag of spirit stones that Yang Fu had just received. Since we're good friends, how about junior brother gives me a few spirit stones and treats me to a few bowls of refreshing spirit wine? Oh, then these are all for senior sister. Yang Fu pushed the small bag of 5 low-grade spirit stones over. Shen Yao paused again, took out 2 low-grade spirit stones from it, and put the rest back in Yang Fu's hand. This is enough. Keep some for yourself. Outer disciples also have their own Taoist robes to wear. Other mortal supplies are worthless. 1 low-grade spirit stone is enough for Yang Fu to buy a set of daily necessities. If he cooks for himself, 2 low-grade spirit stones are enough for him to eat spirit rice for a month. Watching Shen Yao leave lightly with 2 spirit stones, Yang Fu smiled slightly and put the 3 spirit stones into his storage ring, dropping them onto the small mountain of spirit stones inside. With the 2 children settled in the sect, Yang Shi went to do his own things. He had come to the Liang dynasty with his own mission. Our ancestors said the 36 stratagems are a summary of the wisdom of countless ancestors, ever relevant, and applicable to both cultivators and ordinary people. A cunning rabbit has 3 burrows. Our Yang family can't just have 3 homes in the Demon Wind Forest. The Blazing Sun dynasty also needs to arrange a family estate. Fu King and Fu Zhen grew up in the Demon Wind Forest, never interacting with outsiders. This isn't a long-term solution. These 2 children are only a year apart, both born during the past 10 years of seclusion. Yang Fu King is 8 years old and currently a 3rd-level nascent soul cultivator. Although Yang Fu Zhen lacks spiritual root talent, he possesses 3 earth-level physical talents, already reaching the 3rd level of body tempering at a young age. Yang Shi reached this level at 18, but Yang Fu Zhen achieved it before even 8. However, the ancestor doesn't seem to like Yang Fu Zhen much. Alice, is all other pursuits inferior, only cultivation is superior. Over the years, the ancestor hasn't given Yang Fu Zhen a single key refining stage demon beast that the Yang family has hunted. Otherwise, he would be even stronger now. Liu Zihan often felt guilty for not giving Yang Shi a child with spiritual roots, and even more so for failing the blessings of their ancestor. Yang Shi often comforted her. As a descendant, Yang Shi couldn't say anything to his ancestor, but as a father, seeing his youngest son's taciturn nature, he felt quite sorry for him. Let him play with other children more, perhaps his personality will become more outgoing. Yang Shi rode a giant winged bat through the Blazing Sun dynasty, finding Huzi in the Blazing Sun over the capital. Huzi was distributing porridge to beggars in the capital. Great benefactor Yang, may your wealth flow in. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for saving my child's life, great benefactor Yang. One day you will transcend the mortal realm and attain immortality. Yang Hu, the boss, looked at the beggars with a smile, seemingly recalling some beautiful memories. Huzi, after walking into the city, Yang Shi gave Huzi a big hug. Brother Shi, you've finally come. I've been waiting for you for so long. This sweltering city is killing me every day. Chapter 102 Ancestral Worship in All Directions. Haha, come on, let's have a couple of drinks first. Tiger had arrived in the Liang dynasty half a year ago and had already started operating the Yang family's new manor. After drinking the locals' favorite chilled wine, the 2 got down to business. How's things going here? Is everything going smoothly? Yes. Very smoothly. The people of the Liang dynasty are quite generous. They acquired a large manor without much trouble. I got it from a fire cultivator. He also has 5 acres of spirit fields in this manor, and he gave it all to me for 200 spirit stones. Good. The ancestor will be very happy to know. The Yang family all knew that their ancestor loved spirit fields the most. He had a special obsession with farming. However, the spirit fields in the Liang dynasty are not quite the same as those in the Donai dynasty. Our hybrid spirit wheat seeds can't grow. Oh? Is that so? Take me to see it. Let's go. Tiger led Yang Shi to the manor on the outskirts of the city. The buildings were quite elaborate, and it looked like a mansion belonging to a wealthy lord. Not bad. With more people in the family, the yard needs to be bigger too. Yang Shi was quite satisfied. Behind the mansion was a garden enclosed by a wooden fence, 5 acres of whitish-brown land. The spirit wheat seeds inside had lost their moisture and died. Brother Shi, I use Ziofu's spirit rain talisman to water this land every day, but the seeds still haven't survived. Maybe it's just not adapted to the soil. Yang Shi was, after all, a martial arts cultivator and didn't know much about spirit fields. Yang Genshuo happened to glance at Yang Shi's land at that moment. The characteristics of this land were slightly different from those of the land in the Donai dynasty. It had a faint red glow flickering on it. Fire spirit field, spiritual key concentration. 4. Suitable for planting fire attribute spirit seeds. Fire attribute plants grow faster. It's not that it's not adapted to the soil, it's that it's not adapted to the 5 elements. The land in the Donai dynasty had no attributes, so anything could be planted. Along the way, most of the spirit fields he observed in the Blazing Sun dynasty were of this type, fire spirit field, while the spirit wheat and spirit rice commonly used by the Yang family were all wood-type seeds. Wood generates fire. These seeds can only serve as fertilizer for this fire spirit field. Nothing can be grown. Spiritual manifestation. You can get some fire attribute spirit seeds to plant, but we can't grow a high-yield spirit rice and spirit wheat. Wouldn't that be a pity? No problem. A few days later, Yang Shi and Huzi bought some local spirit food seeds and planted them, then used 2 spirit rain talismans to water the land. Ziofu's talismans are really useful, otherwise we 2 martial artists would be in a real bind. Yeah, but it feels like something's missing, Huzi said, looking at the quiet manor. The manor was settled. Huzi opened a board game tea house here, becoming the 2nd generation boss Yang, holding a considerable position in Red Sun City. The Yang family could move here at any time in the future. As for the fire spirit field and the fire spirit seed, Yang Genshuo wasn't in a hurry to get Taoists to do genetic hybridization of new varieties. This was because the fire spirit seed in the fire spirit field was a type of millet, but it was quite different from those on Earth. Unlike highly similar species like spirit rice and spirit wheat, which were easier to work with. Moreover, in his view, the Liang dynasty as a whole wasn't as suitable for farming as the Donai dynasty, which had a more suitable climate. Researching new varieties here was less important than continuing to improve the 2nd generation spirit rice and 2nd generation spirit wheat. According to Taoist, there was still considerable room for improvement in current yields, and he would be making more radical attempts in the future. Tiger, have you found any news about the innate earth and metal elemental spiritual energy I asked you to inquire about? There's a secret realm called the Lava Mound, said to be the tomb of a Foundation establishment expert. It's a gathering place for earth elemental spirits, at least several hundred years old. The cultivators of the Blazing Sun dynasty speculate that it must contain high-quality innate earth spiritual energy. Where's it? That secret realm is buried deep underground, its flow following the lava inside the volcano. It's hard to say where it will appear, which is why the Blazing Sun dynasty cultivators haven't found it. Otherwise, this innate earth-level spiritual energy would have been taken by the powerful figures of those 2 major sects long ago. That's true, Yang Shi nodded. Innate earth-level spiritual energy is extremely rare in any dynasty. Entering the key refining stage with this energy naturally makes one stronger than other cultivators, and it stays with him for life. Yang Fushio's aptitude is only slightly above average, but because of the heaven-level innate fire spiritual energy bestowed upon him by his ancestor, he was sought after as a disciple by the elders of the Danhero sect. No matter what, I must ensure Fuer enters the key refining stage with 5 earth-level innate spiritual key. I'll use my earth-drilling divine power to search for him, Yang Shi said resolutely. Yang Fu was steady and talented, To become the next head of the Yang family, he needed to be strong enough. As Yang Shi spoke, a light flashed around him, and his luck stat quietly increased by 30 points. Yang Genshuo was also quite supportive. Moreover, it's a good opportunity for Yang Shi to search for some fire attribute demonic beasts in the Liang dynasty, laying the crucial final step for his perfect 5-element resistance. Over the years, Yang Shi had absorbed various tough-skinned demonic beasts of the 5 elements, gaining 4 talents: basic water absorption, basic wood absorption, basic earth absorption, and basic metal absorption. Combined with his previously acquired talent, poison resistance, he now had some resistance to all 4 elements of spiritual power and could absorb some spiritual power attacks for his own use. However, fire-type demonic beasts were scarce in the demon wind forest, so he hadn't been able to obtain fire absorption. The Liang dynasty was a paradise for fire cultivators and fire demonic beasts. Then I'll go find that lava mound. By the way, Tiger, you're not young anymore. It's time to find a wife and get married, so the family line doesn't end. It would be best to find a cultivator with spiritual roots. Tiger blushed upon hearing this. How could I be worthy of a cultivator? Would they even look at me? Tiger, remember this, as a member of the Yang family, even ordinary cultivators with 5 spiritual roots are inferior to you. Yang Shi patted Tiger's shoulder and flew away on his giant winged bat. Tiger thought for a while and then realized Yang Shi was right. That's right, ordinary people without spiritual roots aren't worthy of entering our Yang family, except for senior sister Zihan. Liu Wuhan had also taught Tiger some swordsmanship, and he usually called Liu Zihan senior sister. After Yang Shi's guidance, Tiger's state of mind was greatly different. He felt the world had broadened. Yang Shi's search lasted a year. He still hadn't found the ancestral offering vessel for the Yang family. It's time for the annual ancestral worship ceremony again. Your descendants Yang Shi, Yang Fu, Yang Fushuo, and Yang Fuking performed ancestral worship ceremonies in 4 different locations. Incense value plus 40. You received offerings from Yang Shi's sacrifice. 1 fire-breathing chicken. You received offerings from Yang Fu's sacrifice. 30 fire shield talismans, 30 fire-repelling talismans, modified, and 2 jars of first-grade spirit wine. Jade Dew Spring. You received offerings from Yang Fushuo's sacrifice. 21 fire-tempering pills, 21 blazing invigorating pills, and 1 fire-gathering pill, unique. You received offerings from Yang Fuking's sacrifice. 6,000 caddies of spirit wheat, some spirit fruit, and some spirit meat. Would you like to bestow rewards upon the Yang family descendants? The Yang family's ancestral worship lineup this year was quite luxurious, making Yang Genshuo exclaim with delight. Is this the joy of having many descendants? It's so awesome. This year, because of the new map opened up by the Yang family, Yang Genshuo also got to enjoy some good food. With so many good things, Yang Genshuo was eager to open and taste them one by one. Especially his favorite part, taking pills. But before that, let's distribute the rewards that the Yang family needs. Chapter 103 Fire-Quenched Pill. The year the Yang family spent away at the Liang dynasty was truly spectacular. Watching from 3 different perspectives, Yang Genshuo was practically numb from all the controls. It was more tiring than playing Meepo, the Geomancer, in Dota 2. Because he adjusted the speed multiple times, it took him a full 3 days in real time to finish watching it all. Good heavens, if the Yang family grows to 100 or so, I won't be able to keep up with everything, Yang Genshuo thought, his scalp tingling. I guess I'll only be able to catch a glimpse when someone calls. However, these 3 days also gave Guo Xiaozi more time to operate. Using Zhao Xianxi's connections, he used his silver tongue to sell all 10 sperm strengthening and vitality returning pills, earning Yang Genshuo 5 million in cash. He immediately filled a new 20-ton liquefied natural gas tank as Yang Genshuo requested and delivered it to their rented factory. Give this to Yang Fu as a reward, and also give him 10,000 packs of fasting cakes. The natural gas tank and fasting cakes disappeared from the warehouse. Give Yang Fushuo another 10,000 packs of fasting cakes. Give Yang Shi 20 fire shield talismans, 20 fire repelling talismans, modified, 1 fire tempering pill, and 1 blazing invigorating pill. Give Fuking and Xiaojian 10 fire tempering pills and 10 blazing invigorating pills to replenish the Yang family's pill warehouse. Yang Genshuo took some of the items offered by Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo and gave them directly to Yang Shi and Yang Fuking in the Demon Wind Forest, completing a supply transfer for them. Keep 10 fire shield talismans and 10 fire repelling talismans that Yang Fu specially modified for me for myself, and also keep 10 of each of the 2 body strengthening pills. Perfect. After this operation, the Yang family members scattered in 4 places all got what they wanted, saving a lot of travel time, and could continue to do their own things. After distributing the items, Yang Genshuo loaded them into the car and drove back to his small courtyard. Take the pill first. The first grade pill, Fire Tempering Pill, is a unique marrow cleansing pill of the Blazing Sun dynasty, but this one has a different formula. The medicinal properties don't conflict, and each person only has the effect of their first pill in their lifetime. After swallowing it, a blazing flame rolled down his throat into his body. Also hot, Yang Genshuo felt his mouth, throat, and stomach were smoking, like he had swallowed a lit incense stick. As the fire elemental power in the fire tempering pill gradually spread, pain swept through his entire body. It wasn't until half an hour later, when the effect slowly faded, that Yang Genshuo came to his senses. The ground was soaked with his sweat. At the same time, impurities were expelled from his body. This pill made his body purer and more vibrant. Some of the fat had evaporated during the high temperature baking, and a lot of impurities flowed out of his skin. Yang Genshuo took a shower and stood in front of the mirror, looking at his perfect physique, with natural muscles and healthy skin that even young hunks envied. At this moment, he completely bid farewell to the 30-year-old, overweight man who always peed on his hands. He was reborn. Damn, I'm incredibly handsome. Bang! Yang Genshuo happily punched the pomegranate tree in the yard, bending it by 4 centimeters. Snap! The combination lock on the yard opened, and Lin Yu walked in carrying a small bag. She saw Yang Genshuo posing in the yard wrapped in a bath towel. She glanced at him, then immediately lowered her head, circled around the yard, and went to the kitchen. While cooking, Lin Yu clutched her wildly beating heart, her mind filled with Yang Genshuo's strong, half-naked body. She couldn't concentrate at all. She clearly remembered that although the boss was a very nice person before, his physique was indeed quite bouncy. She never expected him to become so fit now, more model-like than anyone else, and so young as the college students who often came to the shop to play murder mystery games. She thought for a moment, then took out her phone. "Boss, you're so handsome," Yang Genshuo chuckled. "Do you even need to tell me, this fire tempering pill has a stronger effect on strengthening the physical body than the marrow cleansing pill?" Yang Genshuo felt that his overall physical fitness had improved again. With a slight movement of his feet, he stepped onto the roof using the pomegranate tree. "My agility has also increased a lot. Immortal pills are really powerful. Besides strengthening the body, this fire tempering pill can also fix and strengthen a cultivator's fire spirit root by 1 point. This is a good bonus for Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo." Yang Genshuo never underestimated the bonus of 1 point. You know, a heavenly spirit root means that the spirit root aptitude has reached 100 points. With more of these small bonuses, the closer one gets to 100 points of spirit root, the faster the cultivation speed will be. The effect of this fire tempering pill is too strong. Just like the marrow cleansing pill, it cannot be sold easily. This is not the same as a tonic. Over the years, Yang Genshuo's family has also stockpiled a lot of marrow cleansing pills. Putting aside everything else, after taking this, not only can it comprehensively improve the physique, but it can also add 10 years to lifespan. This is also a divine pill. You can never have too many. Yang Genshuo planned to take the other first-grade pill, the Blazing Flame Strengthening Pill, a few days later, after the Fire Tempering Pill's effects had fully dissipated. Taking pills? I'm a professional. Also, he decided to give Lin Yu one. The attempt to cure her congenital deafness and muteness with spirit rice had failed. They still needed a magic pill. Hopefully it works. After the meal, Yang Genshuo handed her a fire tempering pill. "Eat it, it'll be good for your health, but it'll hurt a little. Just bear with it." Lin Yu blushed slightly as she looked at the words and the pill. "Boss, I don't need to take the pill. If you insist, I can bear the pain." Yang Genshuo tapped Lin Yu's head, who was looking coy and daydreaming. "What are you being coy about? Eat it, this makes me look like a bad uncle." Lin Yu reluctantly ate it, and then urinated. After enduring the pain and sweating profusely, Lin Yu washed herself clean. Only then did she understand why her boss was so handsome. Because she had become even more beautiful. The minor blemishes on her skin had disappeared, a flawless beauty from every angle. Under Yang Genshuo's gaze, He felt that her breasts seemed even more rounded and firm, straining against his jeans. He couldn't even imagine how exciting Lin Yu's dance would be. Remembering what Lin Yu had said earlier, his heart burned with desire. "Boss, still can't hear me." Lin Yu's message startled Yang Genshuo, and then the fire in his heart gradually subsided. "It's okay, you'll definitely hear me later." This first-grade pill was still ineffective. It seems I'll have to get Yang Fushuo to find a way to obtain the third-grade pill formula from the Danhero sect. The Danhero sect possessed extremely high levels of expertise in alchemy, far surpassing the Hanhero sect and the Zuanshi sect. The sect recorded various third-grade pill formulas, but these were extremely secretive. Even the peak masters couldn't view them at will. Rumor had it that one of these pills could regenerate severed limbs. However, Yang Fushuo's current authority wasn't high enough to access this formula, and the sect didn't sell it. Take your time, no rush. One day in reality is equivalent to a year in the game. The Yang family will soon reach a higher level. At this time, all the Yang family members have received their ancestors' rewards and have begun to work. Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo bear the important responsibility of distributing the bigu cakes, and are the most closely watched by Yang Genshuo. Whether we can restore the glory of the Xuanxi sect's bigu cakes depends on you. Whether Yang Shi can continue to be the Batman of the cultivation world also depends on his two sons' actions. Damn it. Why are 4 chapters so hard to write? Chapter 104, Making the Yang family great again. Both Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo, brothers, possess storage rings, though each ring only held less than 2 cubic meters of space. This was just enough to store some spirit stones and fasting cakes. Unlike their father, Yang Shi, who had to drag a cart to sell fasting cakes every time, they didn't need to. Spiritual food, as a daily supplement, was an unavoidable topic for every cultivator. Eating it daily could strengthen the body and increase cultivation speed. Unlike the rapid advancement of elixirs, consuming spiritual food was a gradual process. Cultivators with spirit stones ate more abundantly, including spirit meat, spirit fruits, and various dishes combining the 5 elements. Poor, independent cultivators without spirit stones could manage with spirit rice and spirit noodles. As a major sect, the True Fire sect naturally provided its disciples with daily spiritual food. However, the fasting cakes Yang Fu wanted to sell were not on the same category as what they ate daily. He wanted to sell portable spiritual food to cultivators in seclusion or those traveling. Yang Fu went to the kitchen, preparing to meet the manager he had previously arranged to meet. "Hey, junior brother Yang, you're here for dinner too? Come join us." Shen Yao patted Yang Fu on the shoulder from behind. Over the past year, the enthusiastic Shen Yao had become Yang Fu's best friend in the True Fire sect. She was very talkative, while Yang Fu was quiet, often listening to her chatter with a smile. He knew that Shen Yao was an orphan, without a family to support her cultivation. With her ordinary 5 spiritual roots, her cultivation speed was naturally slow, and as an outer disciple, she had few resources. So, in his spare time, he would help newly entered disciples to earn some spirit stones. She was the poor, slow-witted rogue cultivator that Hall Master Meng had described. Shen Yao was 25 years old this year, 3 years older than Yang Fu, and had just reached the 8th level of the nascent soul stage. If she wanted to successfully advance to the key refining stage, she would have to be at least 30. The biggest reason Shen Yao was so keen on earning spirit stones was to buy a wisp of mortal level innate spiritual energy so that she could successfully advance to the key refining stage. "Senior sister Shen, I've already eaten." "Then what are you doing at the kitchen? Did you hunt a spirit beast to sell? Where is it? Do you want me to help you negotiate the price?" "Thank you, senior sister Shen. I've already negotiated with a steward." "All right then, remember to call me if you need anything. Everyone in the outer sect knows I've got your back." Yang Fu smiled slightly, watching Shen Yao's ever-cheerful steps. He went inside and found Wang Hao, the manager in charge of acquisitions. "Manager Wang, I brought you 10,000 packs of the spirit-eating fasting cakes I had previously given you to sample." "Okay, put them here. I'll put them up for you. If they sell, the price will be 1 spirit stone for 5 cakes, as agreed." "Thank you for your trouble, Manager Wang." Yang Fu's spiritual sense activated, and 10,000 packs of fasting cakes from his storage ring were neatly stacked on the ground. "How you even have a storage ring?" Wang Hao carefully examined the outer sect disciple before him, realizing that this person dared to negotiate business with him, indicating he indeed possessed some strength. Doing business naturally requires professionalism, Yang Fu had already negotiated everything and was just waiting for the ancestor to bestow his reward. Everything was going smoothly. All that was needed was to wait for the sales of the bigu cakes. On the other hand, Yang Fushuo wasn't as mature as his brother. He didn't prepare in advance but instead took the bigu cake straight to the spirit pill market. The Danhero sect produced a lot of pills, far more than its own disciples could consume, so they sold them to independent cultivators and people from this Danhero sect. The spirit pill market was a place specifically for trading pills. Over the past year, Yang Fushuo had been learning alchemy from his master, Li Zhuang, mastering the proper alchemy furnace method, which allowed him to refine pills without making them so unique. However, every time he refined pills by hand, he would still create various pills with his own unique flavor according to his own wishes. This year, Yang Genshuo specifically told him to offer him proper pills, but the kid secretly slipped him a secret gift, insisting on offering Yang Genshuo a gathering fire pill, exceptional, so that the ancestor could taste his craft. Yang Genshuo could only chuckle at this. What if he used one of these things and sucked out the 20 tons of liquefied natural gas he had just filled? He'd be dead on the spot. He hid it away immediately. Yang Genshuo couldn't imagine any occasion on earth where he would need to use this thing. Yang Fushuo's master was in charge of the medicine garden peak, which had no shortage of herbs, so he had refined a lot of pills this year and sold quite a few himself. At this moment, Yang Fushuo squatted down next to a cultivator who specialized in selling fasting pills. When the cultivator saw that it was Yang Fushuo, who was currently enjoying great success in the Danhero sect, his face immediately lit up with a smile. Senior brother Yang is here to sell pills too. Have you made another pill with extraordinary effects? No, this time it's all serious stuff, but it might steal some of your business. Junior brother, don't be angry, it's alright. Fasting pills never have to worry about selling. I just didn't expect senior brother Yang to make this kind of pill too. Fasting pills are the simplest of the first-grade pills, usually made by novice alchemists when practicing. Generally, once they successfully refine one, they can be called a first-grade alchemist. By the way, Yang Fushuo is now a first-grade alchemist. When he acquired this skill, he even added 200 incense offerings to Yang Genshuo. Yang Fushuo patted his junior brother, who was 10 years older than him, on the shoulder. Then I'm relieved, selling bigu cakes a substitute for bigu pills, delicious and crispy. One piece can keep you from eating for 2 days. A must-have for seclusion and travel. As his shouts grew louder, the cultivators who wanted to buy bigu pills gathered around. One piece only lasts for 2 days? It's not even as good as the worst fasting pill. How can you compare? Are you some kind of half-baked alchemist? Trying to fool us with this stuff. I've seen him before. Last time I bought one of his flying pills, 420 spirit stones, and my ass still hurts. Yang Fushuo immediately objected. Just tell me if you flew or not. A pill that can make you fly for 20 low-grade spirit stones, only this one exists. The man was furious. Bullshit. Your flying pill ruined my low-grade magic weapon clothes. Then why don't you wear something that exposes your butt? An old man over 70 years old wearing something that exposes his butt? Outrageous. Where's my knife? The scene became increasingly chaotic, but more and more cultivators gathered to watch. Yang Fushuo seized the opportunity and shouted, although the fasting cakes are not as effective as the fasting pills, I sell them cheaply. How much spirit stones do you buy a fasting pill? 2 low-grade spirit stones, right, then guess how much my fasting cakes cost. He took out a pack of compressed biscuits and placed it in front of him. The onlookers began to speculate. 1 spirit stone for a pack? That's not as convenient as the bigu pill, but it's still somewhat reasonable. If you buy 2 packs for 1 spirit stone, I'll buy them right away. One cultivator tasted it and felt quite satisfied with a feeling of fullness. At this moment, a female cultivator also broke off a piece and tasted it. It tastes good. The bigu pill has no flavor at all. After catching demonic beasts outside all day, eating a bigu pill at night makes me feel like becoming an immortal in this life is meaningless. I want this. How much is it in spirit stones? Tell me. Seeing that everyone's interest had been aroused, Yang Fushuo shouted in a carefree manner, I'm not selling these bigu cakes to make a lot of money from you all. The main reason is that everyone's spirit stones don't grow on trees. I wanted to give you a more affordable product that can reduce your daily expenses. That was my original intention in developing these bigu cakes. Since you have come to my Danhero sect, you have shown us respect. Today, these bigu cakes are not 1 spirit stone per pack, nor 1 spirit stone for 2 packs, 1 spirit stone for 3 packs, let's be friends, wow. Many cultivators exclaimed in surprise. This was equivalent to 1/6 the price of the beggar pill, but with half the effect. What are you waiting for? Go for it. The cultivators bought them one after another. Limited quantity, first come, first served. Yang Shi placed hundreds of packets on his stall every now and then, always maintaining the appearance of almost selling out, making the cultivators even more eager to grab them. At first, only those who needed them bought them, but seeing so many people buying, even those who didn't need them started thinking that buying some wouldn't be a loss, and they all joined in. The junior brother selling beggar pills next to him, wait, you're selling them like this? Okay. I'll buy some too, to try what they taste like. Meng San, who came to Genshuo sect to buy pills, shouted upon seeing this, I want 2,000 packets. Yang Shi's eyes lit up. Alright, after buying them, Meng San thought happily, if I take these back to the sect, I can sell 2 packets for 1 spirit stone and make a profit. He not only Meng San thought so, but some rogue cultivators also thought so. Buying them here and then reselling them at the rogue cultivator market, wouldn't that be a sure thing? Then Yang Shi's 10,000 packets of beggar cakes sold out that very day. Yang Shi happily earned 3,333 low-grade spirit stones. Before leaving, he glanced at his pitiful junior brother beside him, who hadn't sold a single beggar pill. Junior brother, how many beggar pills do you have left? I still have 50 left, I'll take them all. He took out 100 spirit stones from his stored ring and gave them to his junior brother, then left the spirit pill market with the 50 beggar pills. The junior brother excitedly shouted after him, thank you, senior brother Yang, we're all fellow disciples, don't be so polite with your immortal. Yang Genshuo stared dumbfounded at Yang Shi's actions. This kid is really something. The Yang family's path to earning spirit stones, which had been interrupted for 10 years, was revived by the 2 brothers. They made the Yang family great again. A few days later, a new message popped up on the information interface. Yang Shi has discovered the secret realm lava mound underground and is requesting your approval. Finally found it, after a year, Yang Shi, relying on his burrowing abilities, unwavering perseverance, and a bit of luck, finally found the secret realm. Yang Genshuo slowed down time and made himself a chill drink. Let's get started. Exploring a secret realm is no joke. He had to maintain absolute focus. Chapter 105 The Mobile Tomb of the Blazing Dynasty, Lava Mound. Yang Genshuo moved the Linghu Manor section to Yang Fu's screen and then zoomed in on Yang Shi's image. He could clearly see the lava mound, which the cultivators of the Liang dynasty called a secret realm. It was a purplish-black tomb submerged in underground magma. The Liang dynasty had unique geology, with numerous volcanoes and a complex and varied underground structure. The lava mound would move with the magma. When Yang Shi discovered it underground, it was still slowly shifting. He followed it slowly, praying to his ancestor. Ancestor, is there any danger inside? Is there any innate earth spiritual energy? How do I enter? Even with his strong physique, Yang Shi was only a grandmaster of the innate realm, lacking the spiritual energy perception of cultivators, so he couldn't obtain much information. However, he could sense that the tomb contained many dangers. It was definitely not a fairyland where resources could be easily obtained. Rather, it was a perilous place. The Yang family has discovered an unexplored secret realm, the lava mound, with keen insight and abundant fortune. Incense offerings plus 200. This sudden increase of 200 incense offerings warmed Yang Genshuo's heart. It seems that besides farming and procreation, exploration also offers many ways to increase one's lineage. Yang Shi's talent allows him to find more opportunities. The enormous tomb is pyramid-shaped, its exterior crafted from a purplish-black stone with many unique patterns, within which earth and fire elemental energies flow. In Yang Genshuo's eyes, all the spiritual energy nodes and formations within the entire tomb are laid bare: obsidian tower formation, fourth order formation, comprehensive formation, multifunctional including strong defense, attack, illusion, movement, and spirit gathering. This entire tomb forms a fourth order formation. The tomb itself is the formation's core. Well, now there's no way to break the formation by moving the core. These purplish black stones are all materials for refining artifacts. Obsidian, extremely hard, and can even self-repair within the formation. Breaking the formation from the outside is simply impossible. Not to mention Yang Shi, Even a foundation establishment cultivator wouldn't have a chance. However, the entry point into the formation is easy to find. At the very bottom of the tomb lies a movable obsidian gate, which, once opened, leads inside. Yang Genshuo zoomed in on the tomb's interior from his godlike perspective, revealing it to be divided into 6 levels, each with its own unique environment and ecosystem, resembling a peculiar little world. Moreover, the spiritual energy within was incredibly dense. All 6 levels were spiritually rich areas. Wealth, companions, methods, and land. This must be a treasure trove. If we could bring this lava earth tomb into the Yang family's possession, that would be fantastic. It was a large, mobile underground castle, extremely well defended, and brimming with spiritual energy. Fire and earth spiritual energy were the most abundant. But, it looks very dangerous. Each level of the tomb was guarded by various powerful demonic beasts. The weakest level, the first, was guarded by key refining stage demonic beasts, and there was also interference from array formations. However, the first level also contained the innate earth spiritual energy that Yang Shi was searching for. Earth grade. If we only explore the first level, take that wisp of innate earth spiritual energy, and then leave, there shouldn't be any problem. Before that, we need to call Yang Fu over. Yang Shi is a martial arts cultivator and can't gather that innate earth spiritual energy. He needs a cultivator to cooperate. Manifestation, you stay here with the lava earth mound. I'll call Yang Fu to come find you. The chances of success are much greater if you and your son work together. Okay, as long as Yang Fu comes, it's fine. Yang Fushuo stays at the Genshuo sect in case of any unexpected accidents. The Yang family will at least have an adult successor. At this moment, Yang Fu had just finished refining the 20-ton tank of liquefied natural gas, and another wisp of innate spiritual fire, the flame of life, heavenly rank, appeared in his danshin. Good, 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 another heavenly rank talent. With each wisp of innate spiritual energy he refined, Yang Fu became much stronger. Now, his body contained 3 wisps of high-quality innate spiritual energy. Yang Fu, who was cultivating, felt something, looked up at the golden characters that appeared in the sky, and nodded. Yes, ancestor. I'll go find father right away. Yang Fu bought a flamingo from the True Fire sect as a mount. Its speed was no slower than Yang Shi's giant winged bat, and it took only 3 days to reach the destination. Earth escape technique. Yang Fu's body burrowed underground. The advantage of cultivating the 5 elements techniques is that you can directly learn any useful technique you encounter without worrying about incompatibility. This earth escape technique was taught to him by Chu Qiao, and if used well, it's no less powerful than Yang Shi's burrowing ability. The father and son reunited, exchanged brief instructions, and then began their battle preparations. Fire Avoidance Talisman, Fire Shield Talisman. The 2 wore 2 types of first-grade talismans made by Yang Fu, which were extremely useful in the fiery blazing fire dynasty. Moreover, both father and son had consumed the fire tempering pill and blazing flame strengthening pill, refined by Yang Fushuo, significantly increasing their immunity to fire. Fuer, how's your cultivation of the heart clarity technique going? You're already halfway to the innate realm, just a hair's breadth away from becoming an innate grandmaster. After 10 years of seclusion and a year of life in the sect, Yang Fu has reached the great perfection of the 10th level of body tempering. With the blessing of the heart clarity technique, his talent has evolved once more. Fallen Genius +++, Earth rank, cultivation speed before foundation establishment plus 114%, cultivation speed after foundation establishment minus 99%. His cultivation speed has increased by an additional 15% compared to his initial talent, which is one of the reasons why Yang Fu can maintain stable advancement even with 5 times the cultivation difficulty. I wonder if Yang Fu can advance this talent to the heaven rank after he cultivates the technique to the great perfection. Yang Shi had previously upgraded, laughing and crying, mortal rank, to madman, earth rank, which greatly increased one's luck simply by believing. Yang Genshuo believes that discovering this tomb is most likely related to his talent. While Yang Genshuo was pondering this, the father and son had already entered the first level of the tomb from the location he had marked. Blessing, vitality, blessing, spirit gathering. A beam of light descended upon Yang Shi, while 2 beams of light descended upon Yang Fu. Both their bodies underwent a slight enhancement, helping them cope with the dangers to come. Such abundant earth spiritual energy. Yang Fu immediately sensed the abundant earth spiritual energy in the air upon entering. causing his 5 elements transporting technique to activate. Under the circulation of the 5 element spiritual cycle in his Genshuo, the spiritual vortex, lacking innate earth spiritual energy, faintly sensed the presence of innate earth spiritual energy nearby. The two observed their surroundings. The ground was covered in sand, and the air was filled with a gray mist, strongly interfering with their spiritual senses, making it impossible to perceive distant dangers. Huh? This mist only appeared after we entered. Luckily, I observed beforehand, otherwise we'd be completely lost. Yang Genshuo had already basically memorized the terrain features and treasure locations of the first level. Manifestation. A golden finger appeared in the air, pointing into the depths of the mist. The two, who were hesitating about their direction, smiled upon seeing this. Our ancestor has shown us the way. Chapter 106 Father and Son Devour Monsters. Yang Genshuo pointed directly to the location where the innate earth elemental energy had been nurtured. Divine speed technique. Yang Shi and Yang Fu accelerated their run. Rumble. The sand in front of them suddenly cracked open, and a giant, shelled sandworm emerged. Its massive pincers lunged fiercely at the two. But Yang Shi and Yang Fu had anticipated this and dodged the pincers. In their eyes, the giant hand in the air had pointed out the danger lurking in the mist. Golden sandworm, demon beast, attribute, earth, realm, key refining level 6, characteristics, thick shell, earth rank, earth mastery, mortal rank, sand burial, mortal rank, thick shell, earth rank, a racial talent of the golden sandworm. Its thick, hard shell provides extremely strong resistance to magic. Earth mastery, mortal rank, naturally able to cast simple earth-based spells. Sand burial, mortal rank, can bury its body in the sand, concealing its entire aura and becoming one with the sand. Wooden spear technique. Yang Fu raised his hand and unleashed a small wood-based spell, striking the thick shell of the golden sandworm, leaving it unharmed. Seeing the information about the demonic beast that their ancestor had displayed, the father and son immediately understood. Attack its head. Yang Shi pulled out his pistol and attached a poisoning technique. Talisman crack. 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 Before the sandworm could react, it was riddled with a burst of wood-based bullets, its head covered in blood and bubbling with green poison. Yang Fu lashed out with a long green whip. Bind. Powerful wood-based spiritual energy surged forth, and the sandworm roared, exploding around it to form a sand wall in front of the whip. But it was useless. Bang! The whip's highly concentrated spiritual power was stronger than the sandworm's, and its attributes were completely countered. The whip tightly bound the sandworm's head and body. Innate vitality, grow. He formed a hand seal, flicking out several seeds that landed beneath the sandworm. His whip absorbed the spiritual energy within the sandworm, channeling it into the seeds and stimulating their rapid growth. PFFT, the seeds burst forth into several giant trees, piercing directly through the sandworm's body. The seemingly indestructible shell was completely destroyed by the power of plant growth. The sandworm was dead. This is the earth-grade innate plant vitality spiritual energy. It ends life with the power of life's growth. The father and son, working together, easily killed a golden sandworm at the 6th level of key refining. Perfect. We've got plenty of incense offerings lately. Let's evolve you too. Blessing. Absorb. The essence of the golden sandworm's body was extracted and injected into Yang Shi's body. Yang Shi absorbs the life essence of the golden sandworm, his ki and blood surge, his physical functions are strengthened, and he gains the talent thin shell, mortal rank, thin shell, mortal rank. A transparent shell grows on the back, effectively resisting attacks from behind. It slowly grows back after the shell is damaged. Yang Shi touched his back, a hard shell protected it. He looked satisfied. Thank you for the blessing, ancestor. Yang Genshuo rubbed his nose. If he keeps eating like this, won't Yang Shi turn into a humanoid monster? He's already starting to evolve across species. The shell's even showing. But judging from Yang Shi's expression, he seems to be enjoying it. His current physique is almost the same as Wu Wuke of the Xuanxi sect, a 2-meter-tall iron tower. He possesses absolute physical strength. If it weren't for training Yang Fu, he would have burrowed underground and smashed the sandworm's head into mincemeat with a few punches. After dealing with one monster, the two continued to follow the ancestor's guidance. Boom! A large monkey covered in mud jumped out of the mud pit. Another earth-type monster in the key refining stage. Yang Shi and Yang Fu worked together and easily killed the mud monkey. Blessing, absorption. This one is for Yang Fu, one for each of them. Boundless joy. Yang Fu absorbed the life essence of the mud monkey, causing his ki and blood to surge, his physical functions to strengthen, and his earth elemental power to increase slightly. Unfortunately, this didn't grant Yang Fu any new talents. Yang Genshuo was already used to this. In the past 10 years, he had tested it. Ordinary demonic beasts had about a 1/3 chance of providing talents, and their attributes were generally average. High-level demonic beasts like the giant winged bat had a 50% chance of providing talents, and their attributes would be slightly stronger. Even without gaining a talent, Yang Fu absorbed enough power to boost his physical body and spiritual power. This was much faster than pure cultivation. The father and son turned what was originally a dangerous adventure in the secret realm into a game of eating demonic beasts to level up. As soon as they saw a demonic beast marked by their ancestor, they would rush over to attack. The various monsters lurking in the ground failed to ambush them and were even ambushed by the father and son, who called them insolent. Along the way, except for encountering two key refining demonic beasts at the same time, which was slightly troublesome, they easily pushed through everything else. Pretty much as I expected. Key refining stage demonic beasts are no match for these two. The first floor is relatively safe. After each of them absorbed 6 demonic beasts, they arrived at the spirit gathering ground on the first floor, full of energy. This was also the area with the highest concentration of earth spiritual energy concentration. 50. Goodness. If this were a spiritual field, it would grow like crazy. On this land, a wisp of shimmering, earth yellow spiritual energy swirled and darted between the ground and underground, like an earth spirit. But the father and son barely glanced at this innate earth spiritual energy. Their gazes were fixed on a huge statue on the ground. It was about 20 meters tall, wielding a spear, its body covered in hard armor, devoid of any life force, looking like a stone sculpture, but the ancestor's finger was pointing at it. Clearly, this is a monster disguised as a statue. Yang Shi shrugged. The statue seemed to respond, its 2 eyes glowing red, its body trembling slightly. With a whoosh, a large amount of dust and dirt fell, and the statue came to life. It opened its massive mouth and let out a deafening roar. Stranger, why do you trespass on my tomb and disturb my peace? Earth divine weapon, puppet, attribute, earth, realm, great perfection of key refining, characteristics, undying, earth grade, divine weapon body, earth grade, undying, earth grade, a creation of advanced puppetry. As long as the core remains intact, the physical body can slowly revive within the sand after death. Divine weapon body, earth grade, indestructible exterior, immense strength, and the ability to absorb magical energy for its own use. This is a natural weapon of war. These characteristics made Yang Genshuo shake his head regretfully. What a pity, I can't eat it. Puppets cannot be absorbed. Otherwise, if Yang Shi were to eat such a huge creature, wouldn't he become a giant muscle monster? Upon seeing the divine weapon, Yang Shi politely said, Junior Yang Shi, I apologize for disturbing you today, Senior. We need this wisp of innate spiritual energy. Please enlighten me. I'm not going anywhere during my May Day holiday. I'll definitely make up for the 2 chapters I owe. Chapter 107 Conquering the First Floor. Bang! 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 Yang Shi unleashed a burst of American-style Iaijutsu. The poison wood-type bullets were effective against all Earth attribute creatures, including Earth golems. This series of bullets pierced the Earth god's chest, creating a series of small holes from which sand flowed out. But in a flash, the holes sealed, proving their ineffectiveness. A burst of bullets was merely a tickle to the Earth god. American-style Iaijutsu has too small a damage area. We need to use other methods. Fuer, do you have any wood-type spells with a wider damage range? The Earth god's enormous size and self-healing abilities made Yang Shi abandon American-style Iaijutsu. It was better suited for dealing with cultivators. Yang Fu pondered slightly. I'm not proficient in wood magic. It can only be used as a supplement. During my year at the True Fire sect, I learned quite a bit of fire magic. I can give it a try. Whoosh! The Earth god wouldn't wait for them to discuss tactics. Its 20-meter-long spear swept across with incredible speed. Earth burrow. Father and son simultaneously burrowed underground to avoid a sweeping attack. The Earth god soldier raised his spear and thrust it powerfully into the sand. Bang 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 bang. The sand exploded, forcing the father and son out, their bodies faintly visible as illusory shields of flame. However, this area of effect damage had almost no effect on them. One was a grandmaster among grandmasters, and the other, although only a half-step grandmaster, had already reached a level stronger than a grandmaster by absorbing demonic beasts. Yang Fu's stored ring flashed, and a pair of gloves appeared on his hands, Ice Dragon gloves, mid-grade magic weapon, immune to water and fire, increases spell power. Wearing these gloves allows spells to be more concentrated. They were spoils of war dropped when the Yang family killed Xiong Pai Chi flame rune technique. Streams of dark purple flame runes shot out from Yang Fu's hands, forming patterns that imprinted on the Earth God soldier's body. The Earth God soldier raised his spear and thrust it straight at Yang Shi. Yang Shi swung his flowing water sword. Snap! The moment the two clashed, a massive shockwave erupted, a pure clash of power. The earth elemental energy on the spear spread towards the flowing water sword, completely sealing off its spiritual energy. Simultaneously, the flowing water sword cleaved the spearhead in half, sending the spear flying. Yang Fu shifted slightly, unleashing even more flame patterns that covered the entire Earth God soldier. Burn, Yang Fu murmured, and dozens of flame patterns on the Earth God soldier's body erupted with a deep purple flame, instantly transforming it into an Earth Fire God soldier. Although Yang Fu hadn't fully reached the key refining stage, his spells were already incredibly powerful. He could use these high-level key refining spells with ease. Roar! The Earth God soldier roared angrily from the burning flames, sending countless clumps of sand swirling up from the ground, rushing towards its body. It was trying to extinguish the fire and save itself. Mysterious spirit heavy water, a small bottle appeared in Yang Fu's hand, from which he poured out a drop of deep blue spiritual water, sweeping it towards the sand. The drop grew larger and larger, transforming into a surging river in the air. With a whoosh, the sand was swept away by the Zuanling heavy water, turning the ground wet and slippery, like a swamp. However, being a water-based magic weapon, it was countered by earth-based magic, only able to entangle the surrounding sands and thus unable to attack. The Earth God soldier, unable to repair its body, was extremely enraged, charging towards Yang Fu with its massive, fiery form. Its 20-meter-tall body would instantly shatter even a second-grade defensive talisman upon impact. Moreover, the Earth God soldier was incredibly fast on the ground, unlike a large, clumsy monster. A contest of physical strength? I'll have to try. Yang Shi drew a new magic weapon longsword from his waist and stomped his foot. Boom! A large amount of sand exploded from the ground, and Yang Shi shot forward like a rocket, striking the Earth God soldier's knee joint. PFFT. A single sword stroke severed half of the Earth God soldier's knee, sending a cloud of sand threatening to bury Yang Shi beneath it. Yang Shi remained calm, casually pulling out a second-grade talisman from his waist. Old tree roots. A massive tree root erupted from the ground, wrapping around the Earth God soldier's broken leg and toppling it to the ground. Boom! The Earth God soldier crashed to the ground, kicking up countless grains of sand that blotted out the sun. The Earth God soldier's palm, the size of an acre, slammed down. Yang Shi couldn't dodge in time, only managing to turn and shield himself from the attack smack. Yang Shi was struck squarely and sent flying backward. A large plume of black smoke erupted from his body, and 10 defensive magical artifacts simultaneously materialized. Numerous cracks appeared on the thin shell on his back, but fortunately, it withstood the attack. Luckily, I just acquired this talent from the sandworm, otherwise I would have been seriously injured. Yang Shi knew his body extremely well. The Earth God soldier's attack was far stronger than he had imagined. It was even stronger than the strength of a key-refining grand perfection demon beast he had encountered. No wonder it's the gatekeeper of the first floor, Yang Genshuo remarked. This kind of monster is typical of those with high attack and defense but few variations. It can make countless mistakes, but if you make just one and get caught, you're in for a world of hurt. Yang Genshuo's assessment of this monster, a monster with both regenerative abilities and superhuman strength. And its speed isn't slow either. However, the attack Yang Shi just dealt it was quite brutal, severing most of its kneecap and then using an old tree root's talisman below the knee to temporarily cripple one of its legs. Its entire body was temporarily fixed to the ground. Perfect timing to attack. Yang Shi was about to pounce again when he found that the sand covering his body was binding him like a leech, trying to seal him in place. This sand was magic. But the next moment, a flash of earthy yellow light appeared on Yang Shi's body, and all the earth elemental power was absorbed into his body, causing the sand to fall helplessly to the ground. Elementary earth absorption. This talent allows him to absorb a portion of earth-based spells. Yang Shi's body, nourished by spiritual energy, is refreshed, recovering from the earlier blast in an excellent condition. Crimson Dragon Breath, Yang Fu unleashed a powerful attack. A phantom of a fire dragon appeared above his head, and he slowly floated, gathering a large amount of fire spiritual energy in his mouth before spewing it towards the earth divine weapon on the ground. Boom! A deep blue, heavenly grade flame engulfed the earth divine weapon. This massive fire caused its body to age rapidly, sand and gravel frantically falling away, leaving it extremely fragile. The life-stripping effect of life flame. The spiritual energy vortex within Yang Fu's body spun wildly. Earth generates metal, metal generates water, water generates wood, wood generates fire. The flames surged like rolling waves, endlessly. At this moment, Yang Fu, at 3/5 of the key refining stage, unleashed the immense spiritual energy possessed only by a high-level key refining cultivator. This was the accumulation of a fallen genius. 5 elements transport technique, 5 times the spiritual energy. Invincible among those of the same level. The superior grade magic artifact, the Earth Essence Stone, hanging around Yang Fu's neck emitted a yellow light. The spiritual energy stored within it rapidly flowed back into his body, transforming into pure life fire through the 5-star wheel of the spiritual energy vortex. The massive Earth Divine weapon, enveloped in crimson dragon flames, rapidly lost its life force. The flames only ceased when Yang Fu's spiritual energy was exhausted and he fell from the sky. A spirit recovery pill appeared in Yang Fu's hand, which he swallowed, quickly regulating his breathing to restore his spiritual energy. Father, use water to attack it. Alright. Yang Shi had already drawn his flowing water sword from the ground. He affixed a second-grade water-type talisman, the frost armor, coating the flowing water sword with a thick layer of ice spiritual energy. This defensive talisman, when attached to the weapon, could be used as an ice sword technique, proving extremely useful. The Earth God soldier struggled to its feet, its body badly burned and battered, its armor shattered, still spewing flames. Sand lashed at it, trying to bury the flames. Yang Shi leaped forward, reaching the Earth God soldier's chest in a few strides. Inside the tattered armor was a huge, pulsating gem. Die! Yang Shi slashed down with his sword, the force piercing through the quicksand. The flames on its body, upon contact with the ice, turned to ash and vanished. Boom! A massive surge of spiritual energy erupted from the Earth God soldier's body. Yang Shi drew his flowing water sword, leaped backward, and lifted Yang Fu, retreating. At that moment, a ray of red light fell from the sky, striking the Earth God soldier. The sand in the first layer of the earthen mound swirled, rapidly gathering within the Earth God soldier's body like a gale. The Earth God soldier's injuries vanished, its body fully restored. However, its eyes had lost their blood-red light. Standing expressionlessly, it said, "You have passed the test of the first level, and your strength has been recognized by me. You may choose one treasure from this level, but do not be greedy, only one?" Yang Genshuo was slightly disappointed. There were many good things in the first level, including the wisp of innate earth spiritual energy, some earth-type magic weapons, and earth-type formations, all valuable assets that key refining cultivators could use as trump cards. Yang Shi hurriedly asked, "Senior, what are the rewards for the second level? Can I take the challenge?" Since he had come all this way, he wanted to take as many good things as possible. Chapter 108. Someone came in. The Earth God soldier wasn't surprised by Yang Shi's question, mechanically replying, "The path of cultivation involves cultivating technique, luck, and comprehension. Only those who combine all three are worthy of receiving my relics. Since you found my tomb, you are people of good fortune, qualified to accept my test. Your magical power has already been witnessed in the first level. This second level is to test your comprehension. If you can comprehend the way to break through, you can take a treasure from the second level." The Earth God soldier's words made the father and son ponder for a long time. Yang Genshuo slapped his thigh. "Testing comprehension? You've really kicked a hornet's nest. My Yang Fu has a comprehension level of 50. With my blessing, tranquility, it can reach a terrifying 60. Do you know what that means? In this world of cultivation, I've only ever seen Murin Ziyan with such high comprehension." Who is Murin Ziyan? A prodigy who achieved foundation establishment in her early 20s. Yang Fu's comprehension is just like hers. Tell me, isn't that terrifying? And Yang Genshuo believes that with his cheat-like abilities, he can always check the secrets hidden in the surrounding environment. There's no reason they can't get through. Yang Fu cautiously asked, "What if we fail the challenge, Earth God soldier? You will be sent out of the lava mound, and the secret realm will disappear. Waiting for the next destined person, then it's alright. Failing won't kill us, we can try, Yang Genshuo thought. Yang Genshuo could see that the second level was a fire-themed terrain. Yang Fu possessed a heavenly level spiritual fire and specialized in fire magic, giving them a geographical advantage. Manifestation, prepare to challenge the second level. Yes, Yang Shi and Yang Fu responded. It seems the ancestor has great faith in his father's strength, Yang Shi said with a smile. Yang Fu smiled and nodded. That should be it, Yang Genshuo, damn. What a mediocre guy. The Earth God soldier stood there looking at the two of them and asked, what treasures do you choose? A picture appeared behind him, marking the 10 treasures available on the first floor, most of them being high-grade magic weapons and second-grade formations. One wisp of innate Earth spiritual energy was particularly eye-catching, innate thick Earth spiritual breath. I want this, it's right under my feet, take it. Upon hearing this, Yang Fu sat cross-legged on the spot and began to circulate his energy. Father, protect me, I need to refine this wisp of innate Earth spiritual energy. With each wisp he refined, his strength would advance by a large margin. Yang Fu's combat prowess was already extremely terrifying, and Yang Genshuo couldn't imagine what terrifying level he would reach after absorbing 5 wisps of innate spiritual energy. Yang Shi pondered for a moment, then asked the Earth God soldier, will the monsters on this level still attack us? No, it's safe here. I've already stopped the monsters, that's good. Fuer, you practice on your own first. I'm going out for a stroll. Yang Shi left Yang Fu behind and quickly departed. The Earth God soldier, watching his retreating figure, reminded him again, you've already chosen your treasures, you can't fight over the others. I know. I don't want any treasures. Yang Fu thought for a moment and knew what his father was up to. He smiled slightly and began to focus on refining the wisp of innate Earth spiritual energy. This innate spiritual energy was still wild. He needed to slowly tame this wisp of chaotic innate spiritual energy before incorporating it into his body. This would take some time. At this moment, the sand on the first level had completely disappeared, and the view was very open. Yang Shi excitedly ran towards the sand he hadn't traversed before. Ancestor, Yang Shi requests your location of the demonic beasts. Yang Genshuo, good heavens. Did it absorb enough, huh? You know how to make the most of it. So the demonic beasts hiding in the sand received the order not to attack the challenger and stopped attacking Yang Shi. But Yang Shi directly attacked these Earth-type demonic beasts. The demonic beasts had only 3 thoughts in their minds before they died. Huh? No, are you crazy, you presumptuous fellow? Yang Shi had previously obtained a thin shell, mortal level, and a endurance, mortal level, talent, but hadn't fully absorbed them, so he had to keep grinding. Yang Genshuo also happened to have a large amount of incense points that he hadn't used. Mainly because the 1000 incense points Yang Fushio gave for absorbing the heavenly level spiritual fire for the first time were so valuable. When Yang Fushio absorbed the heavenly level spiritual fire again, he gave 50 incense points. Adding the 200 incense points Yang Fushio gave for his first advancement to key refining, and the miscellaneous points from exploring the Blazing Sun Dynasty this year, Yang Genshuo now had 1,860 incense points. Use them freely. In previous years, Yang Genshuo was always strapped for cash. He had to be selective about the monsters he hunted, only absorbing the ones with good attributes, because he had too few incense offerings. Even under such difficult circumstances, Yang Genshuo still left 200 incense offerings for Liu Zihan's child. The result was that the child didn't even have a spiritual root, which infuriated him. Yang Shi even named the child. If it weren't for Yang Fujian's 3 Earth-level martial arts talents, Yang Genshuo would have suffered for many days from the loss of those 200 incense offerings. And as it turned out, staying in one place, while seemingly stable, also slowed down the family's acquisition of incense offerings, thus hindering the ancestor's ability to fully utilize his skills. Therefore, Yang Genshuo supported Yang Shi and his 2 sons leaving the Demon Wind Forest last year. From then on, Yang Genshuo fast-forwarded. Time passed with Yang Shi's joyful hunting and Yang Fu's key cultivation. Meanwhile, the lava mound, due to the intrusion of outsiders, remained stationary, no longer flowing. 7 days later, Yang Shi sat beside Yang Fu, munching on a fasting biscuit, looking utterly bored. Too stingy. Such a huge tomb, and he gets all worked up over killing a few demonic beasts. No manners of an immortal. Son, what level of cultivator do you think the owner of this tomb is? Could he be a golden core cultivator? Yang Shi's unsportsmanlike sneak attack caused the guardian spirit beasts on the first floor to suffer greatly. After he killed 10 of them, the Earth God soldier finally couldn't stand it anymore and chased him away with his spear. Fortunately, Yang Shi had already absorbed the power of 10 Earth-type demonic beasts. His physical strength increased significantly, especially his resistance to blows, which rose sharply. He felt that he could withstand the Earth God soldier's attacks without relying on magical artifacts, just with his physical body and the thin shell on his back. In addition, he also absorbed 3 new talents: Raging Fury, Mortal. After being seriously injured, it will unleash the violent power hidden within the body, greatly increasing all of his abilities for 15 minutes. Rock Skin, Mortal. The spiritual power in the body will slowly transform into a layer of hard rock skin, increasing the defense against spells, especially water spells. Both of these are ordinary talents, which Genshuo calls passive talents. Besides these, Yang Shi also found a high-level Earth-type demon beast and learned a divine ability from it. Earthquake Wave, Mortal level, emits a powerful wave on the ground, causing nearby creatures that come into contact with the wave to tremble, resulting in sluggishness and dizziness. A divine ability that can be used actively. Yang Shi tried it and found it very useful, especially since he had no spiritual energy fluctuations. Suddenly using the divine ability made it extremely easy to catch enemies off guard. Combined with his other divine ability, drilling, he could also create an extremely concealed combination control technique. However, its weakness is that it can only be used in ground combat. If the opponent is flying in the air, it's useless. Even so, Yang Shi was quite satisfied. He came out to find innate spiritual energy for Yang Fu and strengthen himself in the process, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Absorb. Yang Fu exhaled, completing his key refining. Yang Fu absorbed a wisp of Earth-grade innate Earth spiritual energy. The Yang family's fortune is smooth. Incense offerings plus 20. Aside from the first absorption, the incense offerings given afterward were much less. Yang Fu felt the wondrous effects of this wisp of innate thick Earth spiritual breath, and was delighted. This was far superior to the common mortal-grade stuff sold in this sect. After the 2 ate something and fully recovered, they found the Earth God soldier. We're going to challenge the 2nd level. Go. The Earth God soldier pointed his spear behind him, and a staircase appeared out of thin air. The 2 went up the staircase. Yang Genshuo slowed down the game speed, preparing to help the 2 pass the 2nd level, when suddenly his eyebrows rose. Someone else came in. There's one more chapter coming. I'll post it later. If you're in a hurry, you can read it tomorrow. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109 Flying Pill and Fire Gathering Pill. I detected something unusual about the Earth's vein fire here. It seems to be suppressed by something. I never expected it to be a secret realm. This is truly a godsend. Could it be that one of us has great fortune? Yu Yang, a newly promoted Foundation establishment elder of the Genshuo sect, led his 8 disciples on a training expedition. Sensing the anomaly of this land, they came down to investigate and unexpectedly found a secret realm. Now, Yu Yang, skilled and daring, led his disciples directly into the secret realm. Master, could this be the legendary lava mound? Yu Yang nodded. It should be. All the conditions are met. Master, it's said that this lava mound is hundreds of years old, undiscovered, filled with countless treasures, and even contains heaven-level innate spiritual energy. Aren't we going to be rich? Heaven-level spiritual energy is incredibly rare. It takes 1,000 years for heaven and earth to form even a single wisp. This tomb hasn't existed for that long, but it should contain earth-level innate spiritual energy. But you're all already at the key refining stage, so finding it won't be of much use. You'll just be selling some spirit stones. If you can find a magic weapon that resonates with your own will, then this trip will be worthwhile. By the way, our Genshuo sect has records that the legendary owner of this tomb was a great cultivator from the upper sect, who repeatedly used the earth vein fire of the Liang dynasty to refine immortal pills. He was an extremely skilled alchemist. If we can obtain his inheritance, our Genshuo sect will surely soar to new heights, Yu Yang patiently explained to his disciples. One of the disciples, Wang Xing, listened, his eyes growing brighter and brighter. Ever since a monster who could refine pills with his bare hands arrived at the Genshuo sect a year ago, performing a series of feats right in front of him, Wang Sheng had lived in his shadow ever since. Whenever anyone in the sect talked about that monster, they would inevitably mention his public humiliation. After all, he used to be known as the most hardworking and talented new alchemist. This time, it's my chance to turn things around. Fortune has smiled upon me, Wang Sheng. I swear, I will never let that Yang fellow trample on my head again. I'm not doing this to prove myself, but to reclaim everything I've lost. He had made up his mind. He would seize the inheritance of the Dao of Alchemy. Meanwhile, the Earth God soldier, the guardian of the first floor, sensed the approaching figures. He raised his hand and manipulated the array. Whoosh, a gust of sand swept by, and the Genshuo sect members were divided into pairs. They would face the same challenges as Yang Shi and Yang Fu. The Earth God soldier used the array to teleport Yu Yang, who is in the foundation establishment stage, over separately. The path of cultivation is about cultivating the law, luck, and enlightenment. Only those who unite all three are worthy of receiving my relics. Your strength has reached the foundation establishment stage, exceeding the first level. Please proceed directly to the second level. Do you wish to challenge it? Yu Yang glanced back at Feng Shan, slightly worried. Senior, will my disciples be in danger? Yes. Can I go back to help them? No. Then I'll go to the second level. Yu Yang himself didn't have the strength to break the rules. So he chose the path most likely to bring benefits. As for his disciples, he could only say they should rely on their own abilities. The disciples of the Genshuo sect were generally quite wealthy, possessing many valuable items. Even if they couldn't pass the test, they should be able to survive the threat of the key refining stage. Meanwhile, Wang Sheng, who had made grand pronouncements, saw that only one fellow disciple remained beside him, and his expression changed. Master! Master, where are you? Master, I can't live without you. Yang Genshuo looked at the changes on the first level, his face grim. Damn it, a foundation establishment cultivator has been sent up. Even if it's only at the second level, it's still foundation establishment. Will this guy beat Yang Fu and Yang Shi to the punch? If things get really bad, we'll retreat. We can't risk our lives. The good news was that Yu Yang, after entering the second level, didn't join the two of them, but appeared on the other side of the cliff. Looks like the challenges are conducted separately. That's good. Hopefully, nothing unexpected will happen. While he was muttering to himself, Yang Shi and Yang Fu had already figured out the rules of the second level. The second level was called the Sea of Lava. Crossing the Sea of Lava and reaching the central oasis island signifies successful completion of the challenge. Successful participants can choose one treasure from the second level. A word of caution, a restriction has been placed above the lava sea, preventing cultivators from using spiritual power to fly. You must find a way to cross this sea of lava, capable of melting even a foundation establishment cultivator's body. Also, beware of the demonic beasts within the lava sea. Good luck. The two entered and stood atop a cliff, below a vast sea of lava. The intense heat emanated from below, and Yang Fu had to apply 2 fire-repelling talismans to each of them to barely alleviate the burning sensation. The rules of this level were simple, but passing through them was far more difficult. Blessing, tranquility. 2 beams of light shone upon Yang Shi and his son Yang Fu, instantly calming their restlessness and increasing their comprehension by 10 points each. Yang Shi reached 30, and Yang Fu reached a terrifying 60. Based on Yang Genshuo's experience of reviewing over 100,000 character cards, reaching 30 comprehension is already exceptional, and 60 comprehension is considered top-tier genius regardless of whether it's the Xuanxi sect, Danho sect, or Zhenho sect. Yu Yang, a foundation establishment cultivator on the other side of the cliff, only had 30 comprehension. After a moment's thought, Yang Shi suddenly realized, I understand. As long as my physical body is stronger than a foundation establishment cultivator, they can't melt me. I'll just swim across. The cliff was hundreds of meters high, but for a muscular martial artist like Yang Shi, it was no different than climbing a large tree. He put his belongings down, took 2 healing pills into his mouth, and climbed down the cliff, stopping just before reaching the sea of lava. Whoosh! The 2 layers of fire-repelling talismans instantly burned to ashes. The temperature exceeded the talisman's limits. Yang Shi's clothes also turned to ashes and disappeared. His hair and body hair were instantly burned away, leaving him bald. Ignoring his appearance, Yang Shi slowly dipped a finger into the bubbling sea of lava. Sizzle! His finger burned bright red, a stinging pain shooting from his fingertip. Then, his internal energy circulated, and a strange power appeared on his skin. It absorbed the fire elemental energy from the lava, transforming it into spiritual energy to heal his burned finger. Low-level fire absorption. Yang Shi's talent, acquired from hunting fire-type demonic beasts in the Liang dynasty over the past year, allowed him to absorb a portion of fire elemental energy for his own use. However, even so, Yang Shi only stayed in the lava for a minute before reaching his limit. Any longer, and his finger would be completely ruined. He swallowed a healing pill in his mouth, and his burned finger quickly recovered. While Yang Shi observed from below, a demonic beast floating in the lava sea was silently and slowly approaching him. Manifestation, beware of the demonic beast, a golden finger pointed out the demonic beast in the lava sea. Ow! Yang Shi leaped up in advance, causing the fire-skinned crocodile to miss its target, creating a large crater. Seeing its target disappear, it slowly sank back down. Under the cover of the lava sea, Yang Shi couldn't detect it at all. Yang Shi quickly climbed up the cliff with several leaps, his expression grave. The physical crossing plan is probably not going to work. I'll suffer severe burns after just 1 minute in the lava, and I'll be completely incapacitated within 2 minutes. Moreover, there are hidden fire-type demonic beasts in the lava. Even if our ancestor points them out, it will cause significant interference. This level can't be overcome by brute force. Yang Fu nodded. Yes, we need to think of another way. On the other side, Yu Yang's foundation establishment stage spiritual sense was originally extremely powerful, capable of encompassing an area several kilometers around him. However, in this second level, it was greatly suppressed, only able to perceive a range of a few hundred meters, which annoyed him greatly. However, he could still see Yang Shi's descent with his naked eye. Are there other people in the secret realm? This person can soak in lava for a minute without any harm. Their cultivation level should be no weaker than mine. The fire elemental power contained in the lava is quite violent. Even with my fire elemental shield protecting me, I'm afraid I won't last more than a few minutes before my spiritual power is exhausted. I'll also have to expend energy fighting the monsters in the lava. What should I do? He did have 2 flying magic treasures, but he had just tried them and they couldn't fly at all. They would fall directly into the sea of lava. It's a pity that my foundation establishment spiritual item is only for assisting in alchemy. Yu Yang also fell into deep thought. On the other side, Yang Fu seemed to have some ideas. Ancestor, Yang Fu has a request. Speak. Could you mark the locations of the monsters in the lava sea below? Simple. Yang Genshuo directly selected and dragged the selection to the manifestation button. A large number of monster cards instantly popped up in front of the 2 of them, clearly showing the locations and attributes of the monsters in the lava sea. Yang Fu nodded. I know how to break through the barrier. Yang Genshuo, Yang Shi, good son, what do you know? The formation, Yang Fu said confidently. All the demonic beasts below have formed a formation. As long as we find the path to break this formation, these demonic beasts will become our helpers, and they will take us to the island step by step. Huh? How will they take us? Tear us into minced meat and then drag us to Green Island. Yang Shi had just witnessed the bite force of that fire-skinned giant crocodile, which could crush even stones. Father, look, the monsters marked by our ancestor are interconnected. There's a fixed distance between them. Just now, when I saw the monster attacking you, it was because you entered its hunting range, but if we understand this pattern and actively enter their hunting range, these giant crocodiles will pounce. At that moment, we can jump onto its head and enter the next crocodile's hunting area. When it pounces, we can step on the second crocodile's head. As long as we can calculate a path, we can step on their heads all the way to the Oasis Island without touching the lava. Let me calculate it carefully. Yang Shi, though not fully understanding, was impressed. My son is indeed exceptionally talented. Yang Genshuo, goodness, stepping on your own feet to fly, huh? But theoretically, it seems feasible, but there's a problem. I can only observe a range of about 400 meters. I can't see monsters beyond that. This lava sea is vast, far exceeding 400 meters. Yang Fu smiled slightly at his ancestor's question. It's alright. Once we figure out the pattern, even if I only soak in the lava for a short while, I'll quickly find the next route. Hearing his son's logical analysis, Yang Shi felt gratified. Here he's grown up. However, deep down, a restless thought lingered in Yang Shi's mind. A talent called Lazy Ren was shining brightly. He took out 2 pills, one made by Yang Fushuo, and the other also made by Yang Shi, fart-controlling flying pill, can generate fire elemental energy to rush into the valley, spewing out a large amount of energy, forming a brief flight. Fire-gathering pill, unique, can continuously absorb surrounding fire elemental energy for its own use. Flying is prohibited for cultivators here, but farting isn't prohibited for us martial artists, right? P.S. It's the end of the month, double monthly tickets. Please give me some. I beg you, dear readers, to have mercy and give me some. This is really important to me, thank you so much. Chapter 110. No, buddy, that's not what the immortal told me. After Yang Shi told Yang Fu his idea, Yang Fu pondered for a moment. Although it sounds a bit far-fetched, it actually makes some sense, but pinning your hopes on your brother's pills is still quite absurd. The absurdity reveals its reliability. Yang Shi stopped Yang Fu. I'll try it and see. At worst, I'll swim back. His strong physique allowed him to withstand the extreme pressure for 1 minute, giving Yang Shi ample confidence. On the other side, Yu Yang, a Foundation establishment cultivator, dared not go into the lava pool with his bare body. He could only hold out for a few minutes thanks to his Foundation establishment defensive techniques. If he could fly, he had a small boat and could cross directly. However, at this moment, he could only look for other methods. He also followed Yang Shi's example and went down to experience it, casually killing a red-skinned giant crocodile. He vaguely felt that there was a way to pass through this lava sea. A year later, Yang Shi took the flying pill that Yang Fu had refined again. A surge of fiery spiritual energy rushed directly into his valley, smoother and easier than last time. To prolong the journey, Yang Shi consumed another fire-gathering pill, unique, allowing him to absorb countless amounts of fire spiritual energy in the sea of lava. Instantly, the surrounding fire spiritual energy began to slowly surge into Yang Shi's body, then rush towards his anus. Yang Shi used his powerful sphincter to control this energy, hurriedly instructing, "These are 2 pills. If I can make it, the ancestor will definitely tell you. You should follow my example and do whatever happens. If anything goes wrong, I will take good care of mother and my younger siblings," Yang Fu said resolutely. Slap. Yang Shi gave Yang Fu a sharp rebuke. "You unfilial son. Are you hoping for my death? If I can't make it, I'll learn from you and try to get back by stepping on that giant crocodile's head. Don't say such unlucky things. I hate it when people say things like that." Father is leaving. Bang. Unable to hold it in any longer, Yang Shi leaped off the cliff, drawing a fiery parabola in the air. Just as he was about to fall into the sea of lava, Yang Shi used his powerful physical strength to change direction. Boom! A fiery fart sent the giant crocodile that had just poked its head out flying, and Yang Shi was also propelled back into the air by the force. The fire elemental energy of the lava sea below was attracted by the key-gathering pill, transforming into wisps of hair that rose up like sunflowers, chasing after Yang Shi. The extremely dense fire elemental energy in the air allowed Yang Shi to instantly absorb it again after each fart, the energy from his passage flowing continuously. Boom. By the third fart, Yang Shi was flying more steadily. Boom 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 boom. Relying on the farts he released, Yang Shi's body drew a series of perfect sine waves in the air. Image attached. Yang Genshuo was dumbfounded. Huh? This works too. The Yang family's imagination is too rich. I really didn't expect that Yang Shi, who is thousands of miles away, would join this secret realm adventure in this way. A thought suddenly popped into Yang Genshuo's mind. Yang Shi and Yang Shi might be the best teammates. Liziran and Xia Autumntong, they have a bond. Like father, like son, this is no joke. Yang Shi's body sprinted quickly, completely unaffected by the restriction, and flew far away in a flash. Yu Yang on the cliff behind. What happened? The restriction was lifted? Let me try. Ouch! Thump. Yang Genshuo burst out laughing. My Yang Shi doesn't rely on spiritual power, but on the counterforce of the airflow. In essence, Yang Shi's flight principle is no different from a firecracker. The restriction has no effect, because this is not spiritual power, it's physics. Ha 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 ha! Yang Genshuo never thought there was such a way to pass the level. At this moment, a strange thought from before reappeared in his mind. Could he really be a genius? After flying for a while, Yang Shi spotted a crocodile as large as a small mountain in the lava sea. A Foundation establishment stage fire-skinned crocodile. It was lurking in the sea, its back disguised as an oasis. If someone came from the lava sea, they might mistake it for their destination and jump on it, only to be dragged into the magma seabed and swallowed whole by this giant crocodile if they let their guard down. HMPH, a petty trick. Bang! Yang Shi farted and walked away without looking back. The mountain-sized crocodile sensed someone passing by and couldn't help but look up. Its large eyes revealed even greater confusion. Dude, that's not how the immortal told me. This process is wrong. After flying for 20 miles, Yang Shi found the real oasis and plunged headfirst into the pool inside. Splash! The water's spiritual energy extinguished his burning backside, and the effects of the fire-gathering pill had worn off, completely putting out the flames. Awesome! Yang Shi emerged from the pool and saw a giant puppet wielding a large axe standing on the oasis. A Vulcan soldier. A puppet at the early Foundation establishment stage, its strength was so overwhelming that Yang Shi lost the urge to challenge it. Congratulations on clearing the second level. You can choose one treasure from the Green Island as your reward. The Green Island was a treasure trove. Also dazzling, a dazzling array of multicolored lights flashed on Yang Genshuo's screen. All treasures. And their quality was superior to those of the first level. There was a wisp of Earth-grade innate fire spiritual energy, the least valuable among them. Fortunately, the Yang family had no shortage of innate fire spiritual energy, so they didn't need to choose this. There are treasures. This can be passed down as a family heirloom, glassy fire bottle quality, low-grade treasure attribute. Fire hidden within the bottle is the glazed fire of restriction. Releasing this flame can burn all things and place a restriction within the body of any creature burned by the glazed fire, preventing the flow of spiritual energy. If a fire cultivator possessed this bottle of fire, they would be invincible in combat. It could lock your spiritual power right from the start. What's the point of fighting then? Whether given to Yang Fu or Yang Fushuo, it would be an extremely powerful treasure, potentially even posing a threat to Foundation establishment cultivators. This is just one example. There are other treasures as well. A bottle of grade 3 pills, the Fire Cloud Spirit Aperture Pill, contains 5 pills. Taking it grants temporary access to 30 years of spiritual power, instantly boosting one's cultivation by several minor realms, allowing for a disparate battle to slay powerful enemies. 5 pills mean 5 opportunities for explosive power, possibly even 5 lives. There's also the grade 4 spiritual herb, the Millennium Fire Spirit Mushroom, a rare and highly sought-after ingredient for grade 4 pills. And a grade 3 formation, capable of contending with Foundation establishment cultivators. These treasures dazzled Yang Genshuo and Yang Shi. Meanwhile, Yang Fu, having learned that his father had used this method to cross the magma sea, abandoned his deductions and immediately swallowed 2 pills, beginning his ejaculation. On the other side of the cliff, Yang was speechless. No, are you saying I'm forbidden from flying? Could it be that the owner of this tomb was from the True Fire sect? Is he deliberately targeting our Danhero sect? But why does their flying style look so familiar? Yang felt like he had seen this strange flying posture somewhere before. However, he didn't think too much about it and continued to look for a way to break through. Through multiple attempts to explore, he had already figured out that the positions of the monsters in the lava sea followed a certain pattern. At this time, the Danhero sect disciples on the first level were still struggling to advance through the sand. The attacks from monsters hidden in the sand had caused them a lot of trouble. Wang Shen wiped the sweat from his brow. Fortunately, there aren't too many monsters here, otherwise it would be too difficult to pass through. Watching them explore, Yang Genshuo had an idea. Since we already know how to pass the first and second levels, why not let Yang Fushuo pass through as well? That way, he can get an extra reward for the first and second levels. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Yang Genshuo clapped his hands and directly called over Yang Fushuo, who was refining pills. Chapter 111. After eating his fill, he flipped the table. Yang Shi and Yang Fu stood on the Green Island, having spent half a day choosing. Yang Shi scratched his head and asked the sky, "Ancestor, everything here is excellent. Which should we choose? Apart from the 4th grade medicinal herbs and the Earth grade innate fire spiritual energy, everything else was an extremely useful treasure." Because Yang Shi and Yang Fu were participating in the challenge together, they could only choose one treasure each. Yang Shi complained, saying that the immortal was too stingy. Giving only one item for 2 people to pass the challenge was unreasonable. Yang Genshuo, however, understood. The challenge was much easier for 2 people than for 1, they had 2 brains to strategize and cooperate. Meanwhile, a Foundation establishment cultivator in Yang was still calculating. If Yang Shi hadn't carried the pills made by Yang Fushuo, Yang Fu would have had to slowly probe and calculate the route. What should we choose? What does the Yang family need more at this time? treasures, pills, formations. Or perhaps that rare foundation establishment spiritual object? The pills are plentiful and can deliver the highest burst of power, saving lives in critical moments, but once they are used up, they're gone. Formations can protect the family. A third-grade formation can already contend with foundation establishment cultivators. If someone like that fat and thin Taoist comes again, we can use the family's formations to defeat them. A treasure artifact can add an extremely powerful trump card to a person's abilities, even allowing them to kill enemies of higher levels. The Yang family already has one treasure artifact. Should we get another? Of course. Yang Genshuo had witnessed the power of treasure artifacts. He naturally understood how terrifying their power was. Those demonic artifacts of demonic cultivators were like toys in front of treasure artifacts. As for foundation establishment spiritual objects, the Yang family didn't need them yet, so although they were also very rare, they weren't considered for the time being. Yang Genshuo directly made the choice for Yang Shi and Yang Fu. Choose the low-grade treasure artifact, glazed fire bottle. In the family cultivation simulator, Yang Genshuo naturally prioritized the family's interests when making choices. The pills are gone once they were used up. 5 pills might not even guarantee a chance to obtain a treasure. It's better to choose a treasure directly. Formations aren't urgent for now, because the Yang family has estates in many places, especially the newly established one in the Liang dynasty. Neither the Xuanxi sect of the Danai dynasty, nor the Blood Soul Valley or the Xiong family could find one there. Besides, the Yang family has no enemies, so there's no need for formations. They're too cumbersome. Only a treasure can significantly enhance Yang Fu's combat power and can be passed down as a family heirloom. When Yang Fu obtains a better magic weapon, it can be passed on to Yang Fushuo, and then to his sons and grandsons. Generation after generation, it's endlessly usable. It has no expiration date. As long as it's not stolen, they can play with it as much as they want. The thrill of adding treasures to the family treasury, who in the family understands, the two felt relieved upon hearing their ancestors' choice. Although Yang Shi preferred family formations, adding a treasure for his son Yang Fu was also excellent. Yang Fu had no objections. He simply smiled and said, "If my younger brother likes it in the future, I can give it to him." Yang Genshuo, "There's no need. Your younger brother will be here soon." Yang Fushuo was on his way. Yang Fushuo, the eldest son of the Yang family, a genius alchemist of the Danhuo sect, and a newly rich young man, had also bought a firebird and flown over. It wasn't far from the Danhuo sect. He could arrive in less than a day. The ancestor really loves me. Otherwise, my brother would have gotten all the benefits. I couldn't beat him in a fight anyway. Father. Brother. I'm here. By the time he arrived, Yu Yang probably wouldn't have broken through his cultivation barrier yet. Fortunately, the lava mound was temporarily stationary and hadn't wandered off. Yang Fu held a glass fire bottle in his hand. It was a transparent bottle with fluid flames flickering inside. An extremely powerful wave emanated from the glass fire bottle. The pressure from the treasure made Yang Shi feel as if he were being burned alive, and his blood circulation was disrupted. Buzz! A long sword wrapped in coarse cloth flashed with purple light at Yang Shi's waist, withstanding the oppressive force of the glazed fire bottle. He also possessed a magical artifact, though few could currently command its use. Yang Fu used his spiritual sense to refine the unclaimed glazed fire bottle, gathering all its oppressive force within, transforming it into an ordinary-looking vase. Collect! Yang Fu flipped his hand, storing the refined glazed fire bottle into his stored ring. Thud! It landed on the small mountain of spirit stones within the stored ring. Seeing the two choose a treasure, the fire god soldier asked, "Do you wish to enter the third level for the challenge?" "What is the third level?" "Foundation establishment stage demonic beasts." "Never mind then." They gave up immediately. Yang Genshuo could also see the scene on the third level. It was beyond Yang Shi and Yang Fu's current capabilities. Faced with an absolute difference in strength, no amount of strategy would be effective. The fire god soldier cleaved his great axe to the side. A passage appeared. "Then you can leave?" Yang Fu asked. "When our strength is higher, can we come back here to challenge again?" "Yes." "Then how do we find the tomb?" "We'll meet again if fate allows." "Let's go." Yang Shi blinked. "We still have a friend challenging us. We'll wait for him here and leave together." The fire god soldier was slightly taken aback, then stood silently in place without saying a word. "Let's go, Fu." Seeing his father's excited face, Yang Fu knew what was going to happen. In the lava sea beneath the oasis, a group of key refining stage red-skinned giant crocodiles were leisurely bathing. Slap slap slap. A series of ice bullets hit its head. The spiritual energy it physiologically hated caused it immense pain. The next moment, it charged at the culprit with furious rage. PFFT, Yang Shi and Yang Fu, standing beside the oasis, joined forces and killed a fire-skinned giant crocodile in a few moves. Blessing, absorption. Yang Fu absorbed the life essence of the fire-skinned giant crocodile. His blood and ki surged, his physical functions were strengthened, and his fire spiritual power slightly increased, gaining the talent elementary fire absorption, mortal level. This fire-skinned giant crocodile possessed this talent, allowing it to swim freely in the magma and absorb the violent fire spiritual energy within his nourishment to enhance its strength. Yang Shi already possessed this talent. The talents of ordinary demonic beasts are actually very similar. After absorbing them once, it's difficult to find any that haven't been seen before. Only high-level demonic beasts have more distinctive talents. However, only the giant crocodile in the middle of the second level, at the foundation establishment stage, is a high-level demonic beast, clearly beyond the reach of Yang Shi and Yang Fu. The two absorbed some demonic beast essence in the oasis. After Yang Genshuo had Yang Fu absorb 3, he stopped giving them any more. These two spendthrifts, do they really think my incense offerings are unlimited? Don't waste them on these trash demonic beasts. Find some demonic beasts with talent to absorb. Although the incense offerings have been somewhat abundant recently, this is not something to be wasted. After being scolded by his ancestor, Yang Shi's passion subsided, and he shrugged. Fine, son, if the ancestor is displeased, let's leave. Yang Fu, however, looked at the meticulously arranged demonic beasts in the lava sea, and a thought struck him. Father, others have to find a pattern to gradually approach the demonic beasts. What if we disrupt their formation? Yang Shi gasped upon hearing this. Son, are we going to overturn the table after we've finished eating? One more chapter coming soon. Chapter 112, the Yang family trio clears the level. Haha, it's done. I know how to get there. I really am the most promising elder of the Genshuo sect. Yu Yang had already figured out the secret to passing the test, and after a day of testing, he had planned a path. As long as nothing unexpected happened ahead, he would definitely be able to reach the oasis steadily. At this moment, on different cliffs at the starting point, several more disciples of the Genshuo sect appeared. They had passed the first test. Yu Yang chuckled. As expected of the disciples of my Genshuo sect, there are many promising talents. Then he thought of the two people from before. That foundation establishment Taoist and the junior look unfamiliar. I wonder if they are cultivators from the true fire sect. Even if they pass the test first, it doesn't matter. Each challenger can only take one reward, so I can naturally get one too. I wonder if I can get the senior's pill formula. Alchemists are much more attached to pill formulas than to other treasures. At this moment, feeling that he had mastered the method to pass the test, Yu Yang channeled a burst of spiritual energy and shouted to the disciples over there, watch carefully how I passed. However, his spiritual energy was blocked by a restriction when it spread through the air, and it couldn't pass through at all. Can't communicate? This restriction is really perfect, but then he thought of the two cultivators flying over with fire coming from their butts, and he took back his words. The restriction is only perfect for us, humph. Although he couldn't transmit his voice, Yu Yang believed that his disciples would definitely figure it out. As long as he went through it first, his disciples would definitely see the pattern and follow his steps. After thinking it through, Yu Yang jumped down. He stepped on the crocodile's head, then activated his flame shield, stepping on the rising and falling crocodile heads as he rushed towards the depths of the lava sea. Look! It's Master. Wang Sheng finally saw his master on the second level after searching for him on the first level. They had gone through many hardships to pass the first level, and each group had received generous rewards. But when they arrived at the second level, they were completely dumbfounded. The flames of this lava were fatal to key refining cultivators like them, whose physical bodies were not even as strong as ordinary innate grandmasters. Let alone soaking in it for 1 minute, even 3 seconds would result in serious injury. They had to use various spells, talismans, pills, and defensive magic artifacts to barely stay in the lava sea for a moment. Fortunately, the sharp-eyed Wang Sheng spotted his master floating on the crocodile. A sudden inspiration struck him. Let's learn from Master. Quick, he and his partner sprang into action, jumping off the cliff to follow Yu Yang. Yu Yang, noticing this with his spiritual sense, was filled with satisfaction. Wang Sheng is a promising talent. I don't think he's any worse than Yang Fushuo from Yao Iden Peak. He deliberately slowed his pace to make it easier for the disciples behind to catch up. With them leading the way, the other Danhero sect disciples weren't fooled and followed suit, tracing the route their master and senior brother had taken. A beautiful sight immediately appeared. How with the Danhero sect united, what worries could we have about not conquering the secret realm? Yu Yang's laughter gave the disciples behind him boundless confidence. Luckily we have master, otherwise we would all be trapped in the second level. Yes, following master means we'll get to eat meat. Why am I not as smart as master? No wonder master achieved the foundation establishment stage. Master waited for us before leaving. Your disciples deeply moved. Ahem. Yu Yang coughed twice but didn't respond. He couldn't very well say that he spent a whole day calculating how to find the path, could he? Some Danhero sect cultivators who hadn't cleared the first level were eliminated, but fortunately, they had enough pills to survive and were teleported out by the Earth God soldier. At this moment, a figure entered the secret realm. Yang Fushuo entered the first level and, without saying a word, directly swallowed a fart-controlling flight pill. He had refined himself, flying across the sand to escape the attacks of the monsters within. Following his ancestors' guidance, he headed straight for the Earth God soldier. Upon encountering the Earth God soldier, without uttering a single word, he farted himself right into the Earth God soldier's chest. 10th grade, Azure Wood Spirit Thorns, talismans were then attached PFFT. A large amount of green spiritual energy exploded, forming 10 enormous spikes that pierced the Earth God soldier's chest. Instantly, the chest armor was torn open, the quicksand inside pierced by the spikes, revealing the pulsating puppet core within. Flame of life, a deep purple flame of life erupted, and the Earth God soldier collapsed instantly. Congratulations on passing the first level test. Yang Fushuo demonstrated a speedrun of the first level. I won this second grade defensive formation. Quick! Send me to the second level. Urgent. He knew from his ancestors' information that Yu Yang's lineage was also trying to find treasure on the second level. The number of treasures was limited, and if they arrived first, what he wanted would definitely be taken. He quickly arrived at the second level. At this time, Yu Yang was already leading 6 disciples along the planned route in the lava sea. Won't they get there first? My treasure. Yang Fushuo ate another flying pill and used his self-made fire-gathering pill to quickly head towards the oasis. Meanwhile, Yang Genshuo, watching the people on the screen from God's perspective, twitched slightly at the corner of his mouth. No need to rush, they'll have a hard time reaching the oasis. These Yang family members are all heartless. Who did they learn that from? The 24-character ancestral precept I passed on to them is all positive energy. Yu Yang confidently continued to step forward on the crocodiles, then suddenly the fire-skinned giant crocodiles disappeared from the lava sea ahead. He jumped up, but there wasn't another giant crocodile to help him. Splash! Yu Yang fell into the lava sea. Boom! He angrily jumped out of the lava sea, his fire spirit shield temporarily isolating the violent fire spirit power. He saw that his disciples were about to catch up. Yu Yang narrowed his eyes and locked onto a giant crocodile that was far away. There. Why did the distance get farther? Fortunately, he managed to step on it after expending some spiritual power. Then the other disciples followed in a disheveled state. And then Yu Yang walked further and further away from the oasis, until he reached a dead sea, where there were no more giant crocodiles. Yu Yang, the disciples about to fall into the sea of lava. Wang Sheng's spiritual energy was severely depleted, and he felt his great-grandmother beckoning to him. Am I going to die here? But I haven't proven myself in the sect yet. I haven't surpassed Yang Fushuo yet. I'm not reconciled. His powerful obsession made his spiritual power violent, and his spiritual consciousness was also expanding rapidly. He wanted to break through. Boom! At this critical moment, Wang Sheng broke through from the 4th level of key refining to the 5th level. But it was useless. They had reached a dead end, and they couldn't get out. He looked back and saw Yang Fushuo flying past in the air. Has it an illusion caused by obsession? Yu Yang's face darkened. Impossible, absolutely impossible. I clearly calculated it. Could it be a trap, deliberately preventing us from passing? But at this moment, he could no longer find any other way forward. Damn it! Go back. He rolled up his robes and a huge amount of spiritual power, pulling all 6 disciples around him. Binding spirit robe. He used the enemy's magical artifact to bind the 6 disciples to himself, then dragged them back the way they came. He was a Foundation establishment cultivator with profound magical abilities, capable of saving his disciples' lives. Bang! 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 Hearing the familiar farting sounds in the air, Yu Yang looked up and almost dropped his jaw in shock. Yang Fushuo, what are you doing here? He hadn't brought Yang Fushuo with him on this trip. Wait? He remembered why this farting-based flight technique felt so familiar. Rumor had it that a 70-year-old rogue cultivator had taken Yang Fushuo's pill, farting incessantly and even breaking a magical artifact, which led to complaint to the sect. He had thought it was too exaggerated at the time. Who had researched such a strange pill? But it really did happen. Elder Yu. What a coincidence. Let's talk another day. I'm in a hurry to clear my cultivation level. Junior brother Wang, your posture is quite alluring. Bang bang bang. Yang Fushuo gracefully farted away. Yu Yang, at this moment, he had a curse in his mouth but didn't know whether to say it or not. Wang Sheng, who was tied to his master's back, At this moment, the shadow cast by Yang Fushuo deepened further. With the help of Yang Shi and Yang Fu, Yang Fushuo was the first to reach the oasis and obtain the treasure he had been longing for. Grade 4 Spiritual Medicine, Millennial Fire Spirit Mushroom. You guys don't know, do you? The upper sect came to the Danhero sect to buy this spiritual medicine. Chapter 113 The Envoy of the Upper Sect. The upper sect is seeking to purchase the 1000-year fire spirit mushroom. This was the first time Yang Genshuo had heard this news. He pulled up the Danhero sect's information and indeed saw this in the sect's mission list. The Yunnan Spirit sect has issued a mission to purchase the 4th grade medicinal herb 1000-year fire spirit mushroom. Disciples who complete the mission will receive a low-grade magic weapon as a reward. At the same time, the Danhero sect will also allow disciples to choose an additional reward from the sect's inventory. In other words, Yang Fushuo can get 2 rewards for getting this 4th grade herb. He's making a profit. A low-grade magic weapon is already an excellent reward, and he can also get an extra one from the sect. Yang Fushuo's gains will far exceed those of Yang Fu. The Danhero sect's inventory has quite a few good things. Yang Genshuo saw in the information that the Danhero sect's inventory at least has no shortage of 3rd grade pills. Getting double rewards from both inside and outside. This kid Yang Fushuo is really incredibly lucky. Yang Fushuo put the 1000-year fire spirit mushroom into his storage ring, and then hurriedly took out a handful of pills. Here. I just practiced these casually. You can eat them for fun. By the way, Dad, I have no use for this 2nd grade Earth Elemental defensive formation. You can take it to our manor. I'm leaving now. Otherwise, it'll be hard to leave later. Yang Fushuo knew his place, so after showing off, he threw the things down and ran. Yang Shi and Yang Fu exchanged a glance. Then let's hurry up and leave too. That Foundation establishment elder Yu Yang wasn't stupid. When he returned, he'd probably discover what the two had done. The 2 philanthropists of the Yang family couldn't bear to see the fire-skinned crocodiles being trampled on, so they sent some of the crocodiles to the bottom of the sea to hibernate permanently. The 3 of them didn't even have time to say a few words before they left. After leaving, they each mounted their mounts and flew off in 3 different directions. Let's hurry up. Otherwise, if Yu Yang realizes that it's better to rob others than challenge us, that'll be bad. Outside, the 3 of them combined wouldn't be enough to defeat one of them. This was a genuine Foundation establishment expert. This trip to the secret realm yielded far more than the trio had imagined. Yang Shi had only intended to find a wisp of high-quality innate earth spiritual energy for Yang Fu, but unexpectedly, he also obtained a 2nd grade defensive formation, a low-grade magic weapon, and a 4th grade spiritual herb. Earth is best suited for defense, so this 2nd grade formation will be installed in the new manor in Red Sun Capital. Like a cunning rabbit with 3 burrows, he had many more. Although Yang Shi, as a martial artist, didn't have much to use on this trip, he thoroughly enjoyed eating demonic beasts. He gained 4 passive talents and 1 divine ability: Thin Shell, mortal level; Endurance, mortal level; Raging Rage, mortal level; Rock Skin, mortal level; and Earthquake Wave, mortal level. The bonuses from these talents greatly increased his strength, equivalent to several years' harvest from the Demon Wind Forest. It's worth noting that since fellow Taoist Cat's tribulation and disappearance, the Yang family's efficiency in hunting demonic beasts had drastically decreased. Finding even 2 lone demonic beasts to hunt each month was considered good. Moreover, Several others were waiting to share the life essence of the demonic beast, and Yang Shi, as a father, felt embarrassed to compete with his two sons. In the following years, most of it was given to the two brothers, Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo. After all, in the eyes of the ancestor, these two children were the greatest potential of the Yang family. Yang Shi, who had remained at the innate grandmaster level, vaguely felt that he had reached a bottleneck, and his body could no longer improve. Only the blessing given by the ancestor could strengthen him a little. The next realm of the innate grandmaster, the divine realm, how exactly does one achieve it? During his year in the Liang dynasty, Yang Shi had traveled to almost all the cities of the dynasty, but he had not heard of any martial artist who could break through to the innate grandmaster realm. It seems that only by finding that great martial saint can I find out. Once I find the last wisp of earth-grade innate gold spiritual key for Fuer, I will return to the Danai dynasty, Yang Shi thought to himself. The Liang dynasty had many volcanoes, and its attribute was fire-oriented. Fire generates earth, and earth generates metal. From the perspective of the five elements, the probability of finding metal-type innate spiritual key here was very high. At least much higher than in the Danai dynasty. Yang Shi embarked on his search again, intending to explore several remote and dangerous places. Yang Fu returned to the True Fire sect and happened to run into Meng San, the head of the guiding hall. Greetings, Hall Master Meng. Oh, Yang Fu, how's your cultivation lately? Are you about to break through to the key refining stage? Still a bit short. It's been a year and you still haven't reached the perfection of fetal breathing? Here's what you'll do. Take this token to the pill hall later and collect 20 key gathering pills. Cultivate diligently. If you reach the great perfection stage but can't afford innate fire spiritual energy, I can lend you spirit stones. You can pay me back when you earn more. Yang Fu thanks Hall Master Meng. Go. Yang Fu watched Meng San's departing figure and smiled slightly. Then he went to the pill hall, collected 20 key gathering pills, and stored them in his ring. After leaving, Meng San shook his head. He noticed that Yang Fu had been quite diligent in his cultivation since arriving at the True Fire sect, but he didn't understand why his progress was so slow. He had almost reached the great perfection stage a year ago, but he was still at the same level. However, this kid's foundation is quite solid, and his spiritual power is quite concentrated. It's just a pity he doesn't know how to earn spirit stones, making cultivation too difficult. By the way, the fasting cakes I bought from the Genshuo sect last time are still in my storage bag. I'll hang them up in the spirit kitchen to sell. He bought 2,000 packs of fasting cakes at 3 spirit stones each, and by reselling them at 2 packs per spirit stone, he could earn several hundred spirit stones. It was practically free money. Enough to buy that kid a wisp of innate spiritual fire. The special geographical environment of the Liang dynasty meant they didn't lack innate fire spiritual energy. Mortal level innate fire spiritual energy was the cheapest of the 5 elements, while innate wood spiritual energy was extremely rare. Then, Meng San saw the fasting cakes hanging brightly in his own fire kitchen, early bird price. 4 packs per spirit stone. Many disciples were queuing to buy them. He looked at the 2,000 packs of fasting cakes in his ring, and his heart skipped a beat. Damn it, how can someone be selling this at a loss? Who is it? So unethical. Meng San angrily went to find the manager of the fire food hall, who helplessly shrugged. Hall Master Meng, the person needs to keep their identity confidential. Our sect also has rules against inquiring about the source of any treasures or spirit stones belonging to fellow disciples, to protect the opportunities of each disciple. Please don't put me in a difficult position, I understand. But forget about this person, never mind. Meng San stormed off. The news that came that evening made Meng San, who was already in a bad mood, even worse. What? A key refining stage disciple of the Genshuo sect has found a 1,000-year-old fire spirit mushroom. The envoy from the upper sect is coming. Why does luck always favor the Genshuo sect? I'm not convinced. Why can't my True Fire sect recruit such a good disciple? Thinking about how he lost money on his bigu cakes and had to pay for Yang Fu's innate spirit fire, Meng San was so angry that he couldn't sleep all night. Meanwhile, the Genshuo sect was jubilant and thriving. The envoy from the upper sect has arrived. Chapter 114 Yang Fushuo's Plan. Shengzong is the respectful title given by Genshuo sect and Zhenhuo sect to Yunnan Lingzong. Yunnan Lingzong is the superior sect to all sects in the 12 dynasties, boasting countless geniuses and unfathomable strength. They can determine the rise and fall of a dynasty, wipe out a sect at will, or make a sect flourish. None of the sects in these 12 dynasties dare to disrespect Yunnan Lingzong. Yang Genshuo also knew of this sect Murenzai and went here. If it's full of geniuses of her caliber, it's truly unbelievably powerful. I wonder when the Yang family will have a genius who can cultivate in such a prestigious sect. Not to mention anything else, just the status of a disciple of a Shangzong is enough to make the Danhero sect leader come out to greet him. For example, right now, the Shangzong envoy flew in from the horizon on a red cloud, and the Danhero sect leader was already in the air, greeting the envoy. Below, many elders were waiting. The Danhero sect welcomes the envoy from our esteemed sect. Sect Master Fan, I heard a voice transmission saying that someone from the Danhero sect has found a 1,000-year-old fire spirit mushroom. Yes, envoy, please follow me. Although the envoy was only a foundation establishment cultivator, he was arrogant, completely disregarding Fangyan, the Danhero sect master at the early golden core stage, treating him like a subordinate. It's important to know that cultivation level is extremely important in the cultivation world. Each major realm is the difference between a senior and an ant. The Danhero sect master and elders were already used to this and enthusiastically introduced Yang Fushuo. Envoy, it was this disciple of our sect who found it. The envoy glanced at Yang Fushuo, quite surprised. With such a low cultivation level, how did you find this spiritual object? A 1,000-year-old medicinal herb, even if not comparable to heavenly grade innate spiritual key, wasn't far off. This thing was extremely rare even in the Yunnan spiritual sect. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone to great lengths to acquire the spiritual herb from all the sects of the 12 dynasties below. Yang Fushuo cupped his hands in greeting. Reporting to the envoy from the upper sect, while searching for herbs, I encountered the lava mound's secret realm underground. With exceptional wisdom and immortal techniques surpassing those of cultivators at the same level, I broke through 2 levels and received the realm's reward. Hearing the words exceptional wisdom, Elder Yu Yang, standing below, was furious. Is your wisdom something you claim to have acquired through legitimate means? This elder, carrying 6 others, was almost swallowed by the lava, and you just farted right over our heads. You took the reward and ran, abandoning your fellow disciples. Is that something a human would do? In the end, Yu Yang failed to clear the level and led his disciples out of the secret realm. The lava mound, now devoid of a challenger, completely disappeared into the underground lava layer, its whereabouts unknown. Unaware of Elder Yu Yang's inner turmoil, Yang Fushuo continued speaking eloquently to the envoy from the upper sect. The rewards from the secret realm were right in front of me, so fast. There were so many rare materials, earthly treasures, and top-grade magic weapons that I couldn't even count them all, but I spotted this 1,000-year fire spirit mushroom at a glance. At that moment, all the other treasures disappeared from my sight. I only remembered that the sect needed this material. Nothing else mattered. I made my selection and rushed back to the sect immediately. Having my master inform you, the envoy nodded in satisfaction after hearing this. It's rare to see such a thoughtful gesture. You're quite good. Yang Fushuo is willing to go through fire and water for the sect, the envoy said to Fan Yan, the sect leader of the Danhero sect, who was standing beside him. Sect leader Fan, your Danhero sect has produced a fine disciple. He has higher comprehension than you elders. Nurture this disciple well in the future. Yes, this child is one of our key talents. Yang Fushuo, I look forward to your performance in the Immortal Path competition 6 years from now. The elders exchanged glances, their expressions changing drastically. The Immortal Path competition is the ultimate ascension path for all sects in the 12 dynasties, held every 20 years. It's open to the most outstanding key refining disciples from each of the 12 dynasties, and applicants must be no older than 30. Disciples who achieve excellent rankings receive rewards from the Cloud Hidden Spirit sect, and their respective sects also receive cultivation provisions from the Cloud Hidden Spirit sect. High-ranking disciples can even become disciples of the Cloud Hidden Spirit sect. That's an immense stroke of luck. Disciples who have achieved rankings invariably soar to great heights. The True Fire sect and the Pale Fire sect belong to the same dynasty, sharing the Blazing Sun dynasty's 10 quotas, and fiercely compete for these quotas every year. Originally, the True Fire sect, with its superior combat skills, secured more quotas. However, in recent decades, the Pale Fire sect has issued a friendly sect recruitment order, investing heavily in elixirs and resources to attract key refining cultivators to join. The True Fire sect has been relentlessly drained of its talent pool, leading to a shortage of new disciples. The Pale Fire sect has snatched up the majority of the quotas. Even so, The competition for the quota within the Genshuo sect was fierce. Each peak master and elder wanted their disciple to go, hoping for a chance at immortality. Even without a higher ranking, a trip to the United Spiritual Sect would broaden their horizons and allow them to absorb the pure spiritual energy of the superior sect. And with just a few words from the envoy, a quota was directly allocated to Yang Shi. Not only were these elders envious, but even the elders of this Genshuo sect, thousands of miles away, were green with envy. Since the mission is complete, this reward is bestowed upon you. A bronze ring appeared in the envoy's hand. The Flame Soul Furnace Ring. This is a treasure ring containing a miniature cave heaven. Inside is a fire vein, which can be used to refine pills and magical artifacts. Any item that enters the ring will be imbued with fire spiritual power, and its grade will be increased. It should be quite suitable for your Genshuo sect's cultivation methods. Thank you, envoy. Yang Shi's lips curled slightly after receiving the ring. This thing sounded quite appealing to him. If I put my flying pill in there, I wonder if it would become even more practical? The Genshuo sect has completed the mission entrusted by my Union Spirit sect, which will increase your sect's points by 100. Fan Bian smiled broadly. Thank you for your trouble, envoy. The envoy left after speaking. Yang Shi played with the ring, reluctant to put it down. The surrounding elders looked on with envy. For Foundation establishment elders, treasures were still rare and precious items. Even the Golden Core sect master of the Genshuo sect could not refine treasures. This was a high-end skill that only top sect weapon refiners could possess. Li Zuoyang was not surprised by his disciple's performance today. If it's Fushuo, it's normal. He knew his disciple's character well. What did he know about the United Spirit sect? He just wanted the reward. As for the so-called rare and precious treasures and high-grade treasures, just listen to them. If they were inside, Yang Shi would never have brought out a 1,000-year-old fire spirit mushroom. Genshuo sect master Fan Bian looked at Yang Shi and chuckled. What he wanted was sect points. Although this disciple's words were a bit exaggerated, they clearly made the envoy even happier. He was a promising talent. Zuoyang, your disciple is well taught. Take him to our treasure vault to choose one as a reward. Aren't you going to thank the sect master? Yang Shi, who was playing with the treasure ring, snapped out of his reverie. Thank you, sect master. But Fushuo has a favor to ask. Speak freely. Fan Bian was in a good mood today, especially thinking about that old geezer from the True Fire sect jumping over the wall in anger. He couldn't help but smile. For the sake of bringing honor to our sect, could you choose 2 items? You brat, you really know how to take advantage of kindness. Do you know how rare the treasures in our Genshuo sect's treasure vault are? You want to? Then you'll have to complete another commission from the United Spirit sect. Yang Shi looked helpless. All that talk was for nothing. He should have known better than to put on such a show. However, Fan Bian drawled, I'm in a rather pleasant mood today, so I'll give you 2 of my refined grade 3 pills. Whoosh, 2 pills landed in Yang Shi's hands. Fire Cloud Spirit Aperture Pill Attribute. Fire grade 3 pill temporarily grants 30 years of spiritual power after consumption. A fire type pill. Its main feature is its explosive power. I didn't expect that after all this time, it would still be this pill. Yang Genshuo smiled knowingly, watching the development of Yang Shi's situation. In the end, this kid still profited. 2 grade 3 desperate pills might save his life someday. His gaze followed Yang Shi into the Genshuo sect's treasure vault, hoping to find something for him, like a lost artifact that had been forgotten and undiscovered. He thought Yang Shi could grab it and immediately bind himself to an old man, beginning his life as a dragon-like overlord. Unfortunately, nothing. Not even a low-grade treasure. And Yang Shi didn't give the old man a chance to use his abilities. He had already made his plans. Master, I want that wisp of Earth grade innate golden spiritual key from the treasure vault. Li Zuoyang looked puzzled, but Yang Shi's mind was made up. I have an older brother who hasn't yet cultivated key. You can use spirit stones to buy a wisp of mortal grade innate golden spiritual key and choose a suitable magic weapon from here. Master, that's my own brother. Li Zuoyang had no room for argument after that. Yang Shi emerged from the treasure vault with a joyful expression, shouting towards the sky, Ancestor! Ancestor! Look here! My brother can finally cultivate ki. Tell my father and my brother, I got it. Thank you, Ancestor. Love you. Yang Genshuo was also stunned by Yang Shi's choice. Could it be that when I told him what was in the secret realm, He had already planned all of this. That rapid passage and the snatching of the 1,000-year fire spirit mushroom were actually for Yang Shi to obtain this wisp of earth-grade innate golden spiritual key. And also to stop his father, Yang Shi, from searching every day. At this moment, Yang Shi, this second-generation playboy, became even more important in Yang Genshuo's heart. The news reached Yang Shi and Yang Fu. The family, though in different places, all felt the warmth of their kinship. Yang Fu was in seclusion. The final piece of the key refining puzzle was complete. He was about to attempt to become a cultivator. Refining even a wisp of earth-grade spiritual energy made one a dragon among men, a top-tier key refining cultivator. Yang Fu, who cultivated the 5 elements technique, trained 5 times the spiritual power, and absorbed 4 wisps of earth-grade and 1 wisp of heaven-grade innate spiritual energy. What should he be called? P.S. My brother injured his foot while working today and needed over 10 stitches at the hospital. I went to see him after get off work, which took up a lot of time. Only 2 chapters today. I owe 1 more, making a total of 3. During the May Day holiday, if my brother is alright, I'll try to make up for it with 4 chapters. Also, I'd like to ask for a guaranteed monthly ticket for early May. It's okay if you don't, since I didn't update 3 chapters today. Finally. Happy May Day everyone. Have a blast for 5 days. Chapter 115 Strange Phenomena of Heaven and Earth. Innate Meteorite Sand Gold Spiritual Energy. This is innate gold spiritual energy collected from a special spiritual material formed from fallen stars. Meteorite sand, as a 3rd-grade refining material, can be used to create magical artifacts. Currently, no cultivator in the Genshuo sect possesses the ability to create magical artifacts. This wisp of innate spiritual energy was won by a disciple in the previous Immortal Path competition and later entered the Genshuo sect's treasury, where no one has yet redeemed it. After all, this item is extremely valuable, and only disciples with outstanding contributions have the opportunity to enter the treasury. Those disciples who can make outstanding contributions are already at the key refining stage, and giving it to someone else would waste a precious opportunity. The items in the treasury are extremely rare even for Foundation establishment elders, and so far, no one has been willing to exchange this wisp of earth-grade innate spiritual energy. After absorbing this wisp of innate meteorite sand gold spiritual energy, Yang Fu sensed that he had gained a special ability, the ability to interfere with metals. This wisp of meteorite gold spirit energy can interfere with other cultivators' metal-made magical artifacts and allow me to remotely control mine, as if they were my own arms. A wisp of golden spirit energy flowed into his sword, which slightly rose and then, under Yang Fu's control, danced in the air with remarkable agility. Object manipulation. Object manipulation is a skill only Foundation establishment cultivators possess. After Foundation establishment, they can entrust their spiritual power to external objects. Even a leaf or a flower can become a weapon in their hands. Once they master object manipulation, they can fly on their objects. Foundation establishment cultivators are called powerful beings, and this is the most fundamental difference. Only they can unleash the full power of magical artifacts or treasures. And Yang Fu, thanks to this special wisp of meteorite gold spirit energy, gained the ability to manipulate objects ahead of time. This is why different levels of innate spiritual energy can have such vastly different effects on cultivators. Yang Genshuo couldn't help but sigh as he saw the advanced talent brought by the 5 innate spiritual energies on Yang Fu's body. Among key refining cultivators of the same level, whoever possesses higher quality innate spiritual energy gains an absolute advantage in combat, even overcoming the suppressive force of elemental counteraction in spells. Yang Fu not only possesses high-quality innate spiritual energy but also cultivates 5 elements spells, further enhancing his advantage. After absorbing the last wisp of innate 5-element spiritual energy, Yang Fu's spiritual power finally reached its peak. The 5-element spiritual vortex began to operate wildly. The 5 types of spiritual energy swirled within his Genshin, exhaling 5 types of innate spiritual energy, and Yang Fu's aura continued to rise. 5 times the spiritual power. 5 types of innate spiritual energy. The life essence of numerous demonic beasts, and the enhancements from various talents. Yang Fu's strength had long surpassed that of ordinary key refining level 1, 2, or even 5 cultivators. This moment of advancement caused all the spiritual power within his body to transform. The expanding 5-element spiritual energy slowly condensed, transforming into 5 small rivers of spiritual energy, simultaneously surging within his Genshin. The 5-element spiritual vortex transformed into 5-element spiritual rivers. Yang Fu's spiritual power, enhanced by 5 types of innate spiritual energy above the earth level, reached a terrifying level. Rumble. The once clear skies of the true fire sect were suddenly filled with rolling thunder clouds. Blue lightning condensed in the sky, its oppressive force spreading throughout the entire sect, instantly alarming everyone. The sect leader and numerous foundation establishment elders immediately flew to the sky. Sect leader Fendi asked, "Could it be Elder Wang undergoing tribulation?" Elder Wang raised his hand. "It shouldn't be. Then who is undergoing tribulation? Besides Elder Wang, are there any other foundation establishment cultivators at the Great Perfection stage in our sect?" Fendi was somewhat confused. "We haven't heard of any great cultivator preparing for tribulation." The other elders were all bewildered. Tribulation is a celestial phenomenon that occurs only when a foundation establishment cultivator advances to the golden core stage. Only those who survive the tribulation can condense their golden core and become a powerful ancestor. The tribulation of lightning is also known as the tribulation of life and death. Surviving it grants an additional 500 years of lifespan, while failing to do so results in death and the annihilation of one's cultivation. The last time a tribulation of lightning occurred in the Blazing Sun dynasty was over 200 years ago. A brilliant and talented cultivator reached the great perfection of foundation establishment at the age of 150, but due to overconfidence and lack of preparation for the tribulation, he was reduced to ashes. Preparing treasures to deal with the tribulation in advance is extremely crucial. Fendi prepared for a full 50 years, acquiring countless treasures and setting up a large-scale magic array before daring to track the tribulation, ultimately achieving the golden core despite a near-death experience. At this moment, the sudden attack of the thunderclouds is truly perplexing. The thunderclouds are still accumulating. The elders exchanged glances. All the foundation establishment cultivators of the true fire sect are here. It's not one of their own undergoing tribulation? Could it be that an elder from the Pill Fire sect secretly came to the True Fire sect to undergo tribulation? This doesn't make sense. Just as the thunderclouds were about to descend, Fendi suddenly frowned. "Something's not right," Elder Wang asked. "What's wrong?" "The pressure from the thunderclouds is off. It's much weaker than my tribulation." Elder Wang had witnessed Fendi's tribulation before. After carefully observing it, he nodded. "Indeed, much weaker than the sect leader's tribulation. This tribulation poses no threat to me. If my future tribulation were of this scale, I could easily achieve the golden core stage." "Why is that? Does the tribulation differentiate between people?" The other elders were puzzled. Fendi recalled a rumor. "I once audited a few classes at the Cloud Hidden Spirit sect. It said that there's a type of cultivator with heaven-defying talent who, after achieving a path that others can't traverse, will attract a tribulation of lightning, regardless of their cultivation level. Even if they were advancing from key refining to foundation establishment. Could it be that my true fire sect has also produced a genius with exceptional talent?" "Hall Master Meng, you know the inner and outer disciples best. Do you know who it is?" Exceptionally talented? Never seen one before," Meng-san thought to himself. "There are always a large number of dull-witted cultivators every year, and I have to pay for their spirit stones out of my own pocket." While the true fire sect leader and elders were pondering amongst themselves, the rolling thunderbolts had already fallen. Strike directly at the secluded cultivation cave. Boom! Yang Fu suddenly opened his eyes, looking at the arm-thick blue lightning bolt in the sky. 5-element spiritual river, transform. 5 swirling streams of spiritual energy appeared in his hands, directly meeting the lightning strike. Rumble. The lightning struck, shattering the small river, then itself transformed into scattered bolts of lightning that fell into the cave. Crackling sounds filled the air as the scattered lightning energy seeped into Yang Fu's skin from all directions. His entire body was washed by pure lightning energy, his meridians and dantian expanded, and the shattered river of spiritual energy slowly began to grow again. "The lightning tribulation is strengthening my body." Yang Fu felt himself undergoing a transformation, but the power of the lightning tribulation was too great. A single strike had already depleted most of his spiritual energy. Recovery pill, fire gathering pill, bone strengthening and muscle regeneration pill. He swallowed 3 recovery pills, and his spiritual energy and body rapidly recovered. At the same time, the large amount of earth spiritual energy stored in the earth essence stone around Yang Fu's neck flowed back into his body, replenishing his lost spiritual energy. The fire gathering pill, which Yang Fu had made himself, not only replenished fire spiritual energy but also absorbed fire spiritual energy from the air and the earth's veins, making it even more explosive. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Yang Fu unleashed a barrage of defensive talismans, both first and second grade, affixing them to his body. Glazed fire bottle, Yang Fu summoned his strongest magic weapon. He sensed that this second tribulation was stronger than the first. The true fire sect elders, having observed the trajectory of the first tribulation, pinpointed the location. This person is currently in our sect's secluded cultivation cave. The tribulation has blocked our spiritual senses, preventing us from seeing the cave. Go check who is currently in seclusion. The tribulation's power is even greater. Sect Master, should we intervene? What if this talented disciple perishes in the tribulation? Fan Bi extended a hand, interrupting Meng San. The tribulation must be endured alone. If others help, they will incur karma, attracting an even greater tribulation. Both will die. Surviving this tribulation depends entirely on one's own accumulated strength. Hopefully, our sect's mysterious disciple has sufficient foundation. Boom. The second bolt of heavenly lightning struck, twice as strong as the previous one. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116 Yang Fu cultivates for 18 years and finally achieves key refining. Flame of Life, Yang Fu transformed all his 5 elemental spiritual power into fire spiritual power, using the heavenly grade spiritual fire to drive the magical artifact, the glazed fire bottle, unleashing layers of dark purple flame waves that clashed with a heavenly lightning in midair. His Flame of Life was clearly of a higher quality, its fire magic extremely powerful. Empowered by the glazed fire bottle, the Flame of Life swept through the heavenly lightning. Layers of restrictive nets appeared in the sky. This artifact could seal the spiritual power within space. Rumble. The heavenly lightning and the Flame of Life clashed, erupting in dazzling light. The restrictive nets of the glazed fire bottle suppressed most of the heavenly lightning's power. Snap! The Flame of Life and the glazed fire bottle's restrictive nets were pierced by the heavenly lightning, striking Yang Fu directly. Snap, 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 snap. Dozens of defensive talismans on his body exploded. PFFT. Yang Fu spat out a mouthful of blood, his body crackling with lightning as he collapsed to the ground. His body convulsed continuously. I've held on. Although Yang Fu's physical condition wasn't good, fortunately, his methods had blocked most of the power of the second wave of heavenly lightning, with only a small portion entering his body. After the second bolt of heavenly lightning dissipated, it transformed into leaping lightning throughout the cave, continuously surging into Yang Fu's body. His physical body became even stronger under the cleansing of the lightning, and his Genshuo was forcibly expanded again. Just then, thunderclouds gathered in the sky once more, and a lightning tribulation even larger than the previous 2 bolts was brewing. These 2 lightning strikes would severely injure even a foundation establishment cultivator. How could they possibly withstand a third? According to the sect leader, this person isn't a foundation establishment cultivator advancing to the golden core stage, so they must be a key refining cultivator advancing to foundation establishment. How could a key refining disciple possibly withstand 3 lightning strikes? Unless they have a grade 3 divine pill to forcibly replenish their spiritual energy and face the 3rd lightning strike in full force, there's only a sliver of hope. Which disciples in seclusion and has been found out? No, the disciples are all watching the spectacle, no one's doing any work. Fan D, okay, they're watching the spectacle too. Asking everyone to do work now is really against human nature. A tribulation that only happens once every few years, who wouldn't want to witness it? The inner disciples received news from their masters and also learned that this person was very likely a key refining disciple advancing to the foundation establishment stage, attracting this lightning tribulation. I wonder which senior brother or sister is hiding so well. Could it be that our true fire sect is about to produce a prodigy? Rumor has it that 20 years ago, the Great Nai dynasty had a foundation establishment cultivator with a heavenly spiritual root, who was only in her 20s. I wonder if she could withstand this tribulation. She was born with a thunder spiritual root, so the tribulation is like family to her. She has nothing to fear. It's a pity that the Immortal Deo competition is in 6 years. If this senior brother or sister could participate before advancing, it would be great. She could bring honor to our true fire sect and win a championship. Now let's see how to deal with this third tribulation. I am currently at the 9th level of key refining. I might be able to withstand the first two by using all my means, but this third one is hopeless. The person undergoing the tribulation must be stronger than us. They are also at the great perfection of key refining, but much stronger than us. I hope they can overcome it. By the way, who is advancing this time? Why do I see all the senior brothers and sisters at the great perfection of key refining among our inner disciples here? Inner disciples watch the details, outer disciples watch the spectacle. A group of outer sect disciples in the nascent soul stage were munching on sunflower seeds, watching the lightning tribulation from afar. There's an irresistible beauty to it. This lightning tribulation will never kill me, senior brother, so confident, laughable. I'm 30 and haven't even reached key refining stage yet. I can't possibly attract a lightning tribulation. Where's the recording stone? Quick, record this beautiful moment. I'll pass it on to my descendants in the future, to fool them into thinking I'm undergoing a tribulation. Meanwhile, Shen Yao, standing in a prime viewing spot, had already taken a recording stone and aimed it at the third layer of thunderclouds gathering in the sky. I've been recording it all along. Once the tribulation is over, I'll sell this recording stone to the Genshuo sect, and I'll definitely make a fortune in spirit stones. Enough to buy innate spiritual energy. May heaven bless our senior brothers and sisters undergoing tribulation to pass smoothly. The other disciples all gave a thumbs up. Junior sister Shen is indeed kind-hearted. Even at this moment, she doesn't forget to pray for her senior brothers and sisters. Shen Yao nodded. That way, after he comes out, I can also inquire about his feelings, and the image stones will sell even better. The outer disciples, at this moment, everyone in the true fire sect was sweating for this person undergoing tribulation. Yang Fu, who was directly below the thundercloud, had reached his peak pressure. The 5-element spiritual river in his body had dried up. Although it was recovering at an extremely fast speed, it certainly wouldn't be able to recover to its best state in time. However, at this moment, being tempered by the lightning, he entered a profound and mysterious state. His physical body reached a certain limit, the mind-clearing technique began to operate on its own, and his spiritual sense entered his body, seeing that the wisp of true ki, which was insignificant compared to spiritual power, was rapidly expanding. And his 5-element spiritual power was generated in a cycle, forming a subtle connection with the true ki. At this moment, with the help of the lightning, Yang Fu's essence, ki, spirit, and soul were united. I will become a Grand Master of the innate realm. Essence, blood, true ki, spiritual sense, and spiritual power erupted simultaneously. Yang Fu suddenly stood up, his injuries rapidly healing, his spiritual power and true energy constantly rising. The secluded cultivation cave was the most spiritually concentrated place in the true fire sect, and countless streams of spiritual energy surged into Yang Fu's body. Boom, his blood gushed forth. Yang Fu used this momentum to advance to the innate Grandmaster level. A notification popped up on Yang Genshuo's computer. Yang Fu successfully advanced to the innate Grandmaster level. His cultivation of the Minx and Ju reached its great perfection, and his talent Fallen Genius +++, Earth level, advanced to Heaven Jealous Talent, Heaven level, Heaven Jealous Talent, Heaven level. Cultivation speed increased by 200% before foundation establishment. However, each minor advancement in the key refining stage will attract a lightning tribulation, and cultivation speed will decrease by 90% after foundation establishment. He advanced. Yang Genshuo excitedly danced around outside the screen. Yang Fu had proven to him that Earth-level talent could advance to Heaven-level talent. The heart clarity technique is divine. The great martial saint is awesome. Yang Fu is about to reach the foundation establishment stage at lightning speed, and it seems there's potential for further improvement after foundation establishment. But the prerequisite is dealing with the lightning tribulation first. The exponential increase in cultivation speed brought a new lightning tribulation, a mixed blessing. However, for now, it's excellent news. Because Yang Fu has recovered to his peak condition. His advancement is even more impressive than Yang Shi's, because he has cultivated both martial arts and immortality since childhood, and reaching the innate Grandmaster level also grants him special abilities. His true ki and spiritual power can be mutually converted, and his true ki limit is extremely large. At this moment, the third lightning tribulation finally completed its preparation. Boom! A deep blue lightning bolt as thick as a thigh roared in. Yang Fu held the glazed fire bottle in his hand. He punched the lightning bolt. Countless flames condensed on his fist, and his entire arm transformed into a dragon of fire, soaring straight into the sky. Rumble. The lightning bolt was swallowed by the fire dragon's open mouth and smashed into fragments in midair. The thundercloud slowly dissipated, and the sky above the true fire sect returned to clear skies. Yang Fu, covered in wounds, stood rooted to the spot, letting the residual power of the heavenly lightning penetrate his body, a smile playing on his lips. I succeeded. At this moment, the five-element spiritual river within his body, mixed with a trace of lightning, surged endlessly in his danshan. His spiritual sense opened, revealing everything within a 1,000-meter radius. Yang Fu, after 18 years of cultivation, had finally achieved key refining. Yang Fu's strength was envied by the heavens, but he successfully survived the tribulation. The Yang family defied fate once again. Incense offerings plus 500, Yang Fu achieved 5 elements key refining. The Yang family's path to immortality is clear. Incense offerings plus 100, the spiritual sense of the Yang family descendants has expanded to 1,000 meters, and your vision has also expanded. The tribulation dissipated, and the true fire sect was in an uproar. The sect leader, elders, and numerous disciples rushed to their secluded cultivation caves. Chapter 117. My senior sister definitely knows more than I do. This day was a day to be recorded in the history of the Blazing Sun dynasty. A disciple of the true fire sect, who wished to remain anonymous, attracted heavenly lightning with a cultivation level below the foundation establishment stage and successfully transcended the tribulation. This news spread throughout the entire cultivation circle of the Blazing Sun dynasty. Everyone was discussing the deeds of this mysterious cultivator and constantly speculating about his identity. A Blazing Sun dynasty's peerless prodigy's tribulation transcending image stone. The best viewing angle, extremely high clarity, allowing you to deeply experience the power of the tribulation lightning 10 spirit stones. You won't regret it. Buy a chance for enlightenment. At the Danhero sex market, Shen Yao shouted, a large bag of newly made image stones in front of her, attracting the interest of many Danhero sect disciples. Isn't this person undergoing tribulation from your true fire sect? Who is he? Senior sister, could you reveal a thing or two? Shen Yao rolled her eyes. If I knew, I'd be shamelessly asking this senior brother or senior sister right now. But this senior brother's magic is quite formidable. Perhaps you can deduce who he is through his magic. Senior brother, buy one quickly. If you can figure out who he is, perhaps you can forge a good connection in advance, and your future path to immortality will be promising. Shen Yao's words tempted many Danhero sect disciples. 10 spirit stones to witness the tribulation is really not expensive, and who knows, you might even recognize him? A chance to help you achieve immortality in the future is an unimaginable opportunity. Besides, the female cultivator selling the image remembering stones has bright eyes and beautiful features, making people feel an irresistible urge to get closer. I'll buy one. Me too. Give me 3. I'll share them with my junior brothers. HMPH. Give me one. I want to show that Yang Fushuo what a true prodigy is. Knowing a few crooked alchemy techniques makes him arrogant all day long. In front of a true prodigy, he's not even worthy of carrying their shoes. Wang Sheng's Dao heart had been repeatedly tormented by Yang Fushuo and had become completely corrupted. He planned to torment Yang Fushuo's Dao heart as well, making him live in the shadows. Just thinking about how Yang Fushuo's infuriating face would be so shocked he couldn't breathe, exclaiming in terror, filled Wang Sheng with a sense of satisfaction. Of course, his master Yu Yang didn't hold back either. After returning from the secret realm, he severely retaliated against Yang Fushuo, and the damage extended to the entire Medicine Garden Peak. Yu Yang bought a huge pile of second-grade Great Spirit Rain Technique talismans and poured them over all the fire-loving medicinal herbs on Medicine Garden Peak. They all wilted. Even Li Zhuoyang had a headache. After selling a large batch of recording stones, Shen Yao beamed and nudged Yang Fu sitting next to her. Hey. How is it going? Following your senior sister is promising, right? I'm a pro at earning spirit stones. Yang Fu smiled and said, indeed, I'll never stop learning from you, senior sister. If you work hard with me, and we make a lot, I'll even cover your advancement to an 8 fire spirit key. Shen Yao patted Yang Fu, looking like she had his back. Senior sister is so generous. Hell, Shen Yao laughed foolishly, as if she could already see herself earning countless spirit stones. Yang Fu looked at the adorable Shen Yao, finding her somewhat cute. Unlike many female cultivators, Yang Fu didn't like socializing, but he got along well with Shen Yao. Shen Yao invited him to make recording stones together and sell them at the Danghou sect's grand market, which he readily agreed to. Junior brother Yang, why do you think the sect master would hide this prodigy's identity from the entire sect? It's driving us crazy with all this guessing. Maybe he's afraid someone with ulterior motives will harm him. My True Fire sect has tens of thousands of disciples. Who dares to offend us? The Dan Fire sect has tens of thousands of disciples. Oh, but I heard our sect master and the Dan Fire sect master are brothers? They wouldn't do something so despicable, would they? The sect master can't represent everyone, that's true. It's just a pity. I prepared so many questions for the interview, but I won't need them. Yang Fu shrugged. Well, there's nothing I can do then. We can ask again when we meet later. Look, here's my question. What was senior brother thinking when facing the first bolt of heavenly lightning? That's definitely a good question. Who wouldn't want to know? With this question, I'd sell a recording stone for 15 spirit stones and everyone would be scrambling to buy it. I guess, maybe he was thinking, wait, what is this thing? I've never heard of anyone getting struck by lightning before advancing. Ancestor, save me. Shen Yao got angry as soon as she heard that. No, only you would think that way. Our senior brother is such a genius, he must be overflowing with domineering aura, standing between heaven and earth with his sword, shouting thunder, come, and then shattering the heavenly thunder with a single sword strike. Yang Fu, right. Senior sister definitely knows more than me. Of course Shen Yao gave Yang Fu a charming eye roll, and then continued to promote a recording stone. Senior sister, I saw a friend here, I'm going to catch up, I'll be back in a bit. Go ahead. Oh, right. Here are 2 spirit stones. I heard the spirit wine of the Danghou sect is quite extraordinary. Go buy 2 cups. Okay. Yang Fu took the 2 spirit stones and went to Yang Fushuo, who was waving to him. Yang Fushuo immediately gave him a bear hug upon meeting him. My brother is really amazing. Walls have ears. He actually found such a beautiful Taoist partner, making countless disciples of a Danghou sect envious. Don't talk nonsense. Yang Fu blushed and quickly changed the subject. How have you been lately, brother? We just met 10 days ago. I gave you some golden spiritual energy. Have you forgotten? Oh, so how have you been these past 10 days? Alright, I won't talk about you two anymore. Look how nervous you are. Did you use the pill I gave you this time? Fire Cloud Spiritual Aperture Pill. After taking it, one can temporarily gain 30 years of spiritual power. Yang Fushuo received 2 pills, and gave one to Yang Fu when he gave him the golden spiritual energy. Both brothers needed a life-saving divine pill. In Yang Fushuo's opinion, his brother must have used this divine pill to survive such a fierce lightning tribulation. I almost used it. You didn't use it? Good. From now on, we will never fight again before the foundation establishment stage. Yang Fushuo knew his brother's true strength. He was just waiting to reach the foundation establishment stage ahead of his brother through faster cultivation so he could become arrogant. After breaking through, I feel my cultivation speed has improved considerably. Yang Fushuo pondered for a moment. I'm done talking. Farewell. Wang Sheng hadn't given him any psychological trauma, but talking to his brother for a couple of sentences had. However, before leaving, Yang Fushuo didn't forget his business. Brother, did your sect leader mention the Immortal Path competition? Yes, I'll be one of the participants from the True Fire sect. What a coincidence. Me too. Yes, we need to cultivate diligently for the next 6 years. See you at the Immortal Path competition in 6 years. Neither brother would let this opportunity to witness the upper sect slip by. Seeing that his 2 sons had established themselves and no longer needed him, Yang Shi decided to return to Linghu Manor. By moving the family to the Blazing Sun dynasty, I can go and search for the martial saint with peace of mind. Yang Shi's martial arts had reached a bottleneck. He urgently needed to find the path to the divine realm. Happy May Day. Thank you everyone for the double monthly tickets. You all didn't mind the brevity of the post, but still voted for me. I'm so grateful. I'm deeply thankful for the win. Those who want to join the group to urge me to update can join the book club. Chapter 118 Yang Fu King's Spirit Beast Friend. More than a year after leaving home, Yang Shi returned to Linghu Manor riding a giant winged bat. Husband, brother, senior brother, father, the whole family came out to greet him. Even Yang Fu Zhen, the most taciturn member of the family, couldn't contain his excitement and used his superior stamina to run ahead of Yang Fuking. A year had passed. For Yang Shi, this year had been tumultuous. For those of the Yang family remaining at Linghu Manor, it had been a year of longing. The two wives missed their husband and son, the two younger siblings missed their father and brother. Yang Shi embraced everyone. Haha, Kinger and Jiner have both grown taller. Has your cultivation fallen behind while father was away this year? Yang Fuking quickly boasted. Father, I've already reached the 5th level of the fetal breathing stage. I'll catch up with you soon, brother. That's right. That's right, the long-haired parrot echoed. Yang Fujin bit his lip and said, I've already reached the 5th level of body tempering and am currently studying the heart clearing technique. Good, good, good. My son and daughter are both excellent, even better than their father, Yang Fujin said sullenly. I want father to practice swordsmanship with me. Okay, father will accompany you. Yang Fuking also clamored, Father, be my punching bag so I can practice my spells. Okay, alright. Yang Shi picked up the two children, his face full of doting affection, his eyes overflowing with love. Although the two younger ones weren't as talented as Yang Fu and Yang Fushuo, their progress was much faster. Because of Yang Shi, Yang Fu, and Yang Fushuo's experiences and growth, the Yang family's development was accelerated, and the entire family's immortal resources were rapidly expanding. Yang Fushuo was able to provide the family with 3 types of conventional pills that he could refine: fire tempering pill, blazing body strengthening pill, and fire gathering pill. Among them, the fire tempering pill and the blazing body strengthening pill are both for enhancing physical strength, on par with the marrow cleansing pill and the Vajra indestructible pill, all belonging to the best body tempering pills among first-tier pills. Yang Fujin can directly advance a small realm by consuming 1 fire tempering pill, and another by consuming 1 blazing body strengthening pill. Therefore, at such a young age, he has already reached the 5th level of body tempering, making conventional supplements completely unnecessary. He directly consumes elixirs to temper his body and increase his ki and blood. What martial artist would dare to be so extravagant? Moreover, when he reaches the 7th level of body tempering and refines his bone marrow, he still has a marrow cleansing pill available, allowing him to skip another realm. In addition, the 2nd grade pill, the Dragon Tiger Golden Pill, can grant him a physical body surpassing that of other innate grandmasters. Yang Fujin's resources are far superior to Yang Shi's. Could this child have already become an innate grandmaster before the age of 18? Yang Genshuo looked at Yang Fujin's 3 earth-level talents and felt that 18 was a bit conservative. If Yang Shi can truly surpass the innate grandmaster level and forge a new martial arts realm comparable to the foundation establishment path of immortal cultivation, then I might invest resources in nurturing Yang Fujin. Yang Shi's strength had already been demonstrated in the lava mound. His combat power was roughly equivalent to that of a key-refining great perfection cultivator. Moreover, with the added bonuses of multiple demonic beast abilities, he would definitely have the upper hands in actual combat. However, he was still far inferior to Yu Yang, a foundation establishment early-stage cultivator. Furthermore, Yang Shi had already reached a bottleneck, and the bonuses from absorbing demonic beast essence were diminishing. Yang Genshuo was no longer planning to invest in him. It would be better to save the resources for the Liang twins. Or nurturing Yang Fuking would also be excellent. Of course, if Yang Shi could reach a new realm in martial arts, Yang Genshuo was willing to abandon his previous prejudice that all other pursuits are inferior, only immortal cultivation is superior, and focus on nurturing Yang Fujin. After all, this child's talent was probably the highest among all the children in the Yang family. Apart from lacking spiritual roots, he had no weaknesses. Yang Shi teased the two children for a while, then went inside with his two wives for a long talk. The conversation lasted all day. Only when Yang Shi insisted he would stay home for a while longer did the two ladies temporarily forgive him. No matter how high one's skill, there's always the risk of endless demands. Yang Shi realized that even a peak-level innate grandmaster's body wasn't without weaknesses. No matter how much blood energy one possessed, it couldn't withstand constant outflow. Xiao Bai, Zihan, pack your things these days and come with me to the Liang dynasty. Huzi has arranged everything there. What about this Linghu manor? Hash is there. He'll manage it for us. If he doesn't, Huzi won't mind letting him try 100 consecutive draws. What if he runs away with all his people? Liu Zihan asked worriedly. Just leave the 1,000 wood myriad manifestations array here, Yang Shi said. Although a second-grade array wouldn't be as powerful without someone in charge, it was more than enough to stop these black ghosts from escaping. But these black devils are lazy by nature, slacking off in the sun every day. What if the harvest drops? Our ancestors still require us to offer them spirit wheat and spirit fruit every year. Should I stay and watch over them? Although Liu Zihan's talent was not as good as Yang Shi's, he had been practicing martial arts with Liu Wuhan for many years and was already a half-step innate grandmaster. His foundation was quite profound. With the help of the Yang family's American-style Iaijutsu, it would be very easy for him to intimidate Hash, who was not even at the key refining stage. Yang Shi also frowned slightly. Although we haven't mistreated them all these years, and have made sure they are well-fed, well-clothed and learned, the number of black devils has doubled. But given the nature of the black devil race, it's not impossible. Even Hash, who had been whipping his relatives every day, wouldn't be so diligent if no one was watching over him. Besides, we also have some spirit fields in the Demon Wind Forest, which need to be managed regularly. We need to leave a few people here to manage them. Zheng Xiaobei and Liu Zihan both attached great importance to their families' businesses. After all, they had built all this together. Yang Shi and the two children had only practiced martial arts and cultivated immortality for many years, not engaging in any productive work. Seeing her parents worry, Yang Fuking, who had been eavesdropping, stepped forward. "Father, I have some spirit beast friends who can help." "Friends? Friends?" the long-haired parrots echoed. Yang Shi naturally knew his daughter's talent, but after hearing this, he couldn't help but wonder, what kind of spirit beasts can take care of spirit fields? Many. I just need to give them a small reward. Oh, Wu Xiang Fuking gathered her spiritual power and whistled a peculiar whistle towards the sky. After a while, a flock of colorful long-haired parrots flew over from the sky. "Where are the fish? I want to eat fish. Give me spirit fish. Eat as much as you want. Do whatever you want." "Who are we going to beat up today?" The long-haired parrots flew around Yang Fuking, their cries rising and falling, more annoying than a pond full of ducks. Yang Fuking chuckled and said, "Go and tidy up my spirit field today, give it some fertilizer, and let some spirit rain fall. Then you can eat as much as you want. We'll go to your spirit field and poop right now, and then we'll give you a big shower." A flock of colorful long-haired parrots squawked and flew away, clearly not the first time they'd done this. Yang Fuking chuckled, long-haired parrots are incredibly intelligent, and they can even speak human language. They can help us guard the spirit field. If Hash and the others don't work, they'll be reported, and then Uncle Tiger will come and slap them. Hash, who was pretending to work but actually eavesdropping, suddenly shuddered. None of the people in Master's family are easy to deal with. He felt he would live in the shadow of the Yang family for the rest of his life, even the Yang family's children. Today I was at the hospital, handling my brother's transfer surgery. I was busy until very late driving back from the city. There will be more updates later, so please don't wait, read on tomorrow. Chapter 119 Spirit Brew. The Yang family was moving, and so was Yang Genshuo. He was moving the compressed biscuit production line. As the chairman of Yaoxianqi Food Company, Limited, he had been invited by the company's CEO, Guo Xiaozi, to witness this grand event. He bought a second-hand compressed biscuit production line from the restructured Hongfeng food factory and transported it back to his rented suburban factory. To make it more lively, Guo Xiaozi even specially hired a professional pole dancing troupe. "Yang Genshuo, Xiaozi, I've made you put on quite a show. You, just tell me if it's lewd or not." Awesome. Yang Genshuo felt that no matter how many years the cultivation world had developed, it couldn't compare to modern times. He even suspected that modern humans were using their limited spiritual power to evolve their brains. He still couldn't forget the netizen who was looking for the big mushroom book. Nearby, Su Menki, who was reporting to her leader that she had sold the factory's production line to a vibrant young startup company, was stunned by the commotion. The 58-year-old former department-level leader brushed a few strands of hair from her head to one side. "Xiao Su, is this the startup you mentioned with such great ideas?" Su Mengi thought for a moment, then said firmly, "Just tell me if it has any ideas." The leader, who hires pole dancers to cheer them on when they bring in equipment. "Is this a legitimate company? I want to see what they're really up to." The old leader, filled with worry, stayed until sunset, and only reluctantly got into the car to go home after the pole dance team finished work. He still had a question in his mind. Can this stuff be watched openly now? Yaoxianqi Food Company, Limited will also officially start operating tomorrow. Guo Xiaozi had already recruited a batch of employees very quickly, without even hiring a human resources employee, taking care of everything himself in his spare time. Because Yang Genshuo gave him a small instruction before he started recruiting. Give them more money, and make more demands. Their food factory is destined to be different from other food factories. All kinds of operations must be kept secret, and there may be other various regulations. Moreover, it is a small, unknown factory. If they want to recruit people quickly, they have to show sincerity. Offering 20% more pay than competitors, Hongfeng Food Factory pays its workers 3,500 yuan a month, while I offer 4,200 yuan. Guo Xiaozi posted a job ad on a local platform, and his phone was ringing off the hook. Employees were immediately on the job. The pole dancing team left, and Guo Xiaozi held a meeting with the 30 newly recruited employees, explaining the rules and regulations. Swoosh. Yang Genshuo took a big gulp of his iced Luckin coffee, looking refreshed. Who invented this stuff? It's so satisfying. No wonder some cultivators also like to drink coffee from Yang's board game tea house. It's a unique sensory experience, unrelated to their cultivation level. Even someone as powerful as Murin Ziyan was tempted by the snacks from JD Supermarket. I reasonably suspect that Murin Ziyan gave her sword to Yang Shi before she left because she was afraid he wouldn't be able to eat the snacks after he died. Speaking of drinks, Yang Genshuo recently discovered a treasure, spirit wine. Spirit wine brewed from the Liang dynasty. That place is scorching hot year-round. And both cultivators and ordinary people enjoy drinking at regular times. Spirit wine is one of the most popular drinks among cultivators. Shen Yao loves to invite Yang Fu to taste the refreshing spirit wine, and she always drinks it with her eyes half closed like a little rabbit. The people of the Blazing Sun dynasty are extremely skilled at brewing wine, not only in terms of variety but also in the unique flavors of each type. The spirit wine brewed by cultivators can even increase spiritual power. Disciples of the Danhero sect and the Zhenhero sect call it spirit brew. Last year, just yesterday, during the offering ceremony, Yang Fu brought over 2 jars. Yang Genshuo tasted some and was amazed. It was pure and delicious from every angle. It was the kind of deliciousness that even someone like Yang Genshuo, who doesn't usually like drinking, could appreciate. The slight intoxication from the spiritual power was not only harmless to the body, but also left him feeling refreshed after a good night's sleep, as if he had received a deep spa treatment from body to mind. A liquor that won't cause hangovers and will even give you a good dream is perfect for a newbie like me who can't appreciate Beiju. After Guo Xiaozi finished his brief inaugural meeting, the new employees all went home. Brother Shuo, let's go too. I'll be working regular hours starting tomorrow, but this time as CEO? It sounds awesome. Yang Genshuo looked at him in surprise. When I ran the board game shop, weren't you the manager? Isn't that the same? How can it be the same? I was nominally the manager, but I also had to be your host, receptionist, salesperson, HR, and even a part-time cleaner. Was I a CEO? Wasn't I just working like a slave for you? Yang Genshuo thought about it, and it really was true. He chuckled. Don't worry about the details, Guo Xiaozi said smugly, but I knew you could make it. You've been smart since you were little. Damn, they say online that once your best friend gets rich, you only get one chance to fart. That's their friend, not me, Brother Shuo. Absolutely, you're the only one who can be the CEO. HMPH getting rich doesn't mean the chat history is gone. If you don't include me, I'll post the story about you asking me for porn in your family group chat. Damn. Delete it now. The two chatted and laughed, as if they had returned to the innocent and carefree days 20 years ago when they rode a bicycle after school and picked up condoms outside nightclubs. Dinner was still at Yang Genshuo's house. It was just a matter of having an extra pair of chopsticks, and it was healthier too. Lin Yu was busy running around, very well behaved and sensible. When she heard about Yang Genshuo reopening the factory, she also smiled. Come on, Xiaozi, try this, Star River Dream. Guo Xiaozi looked at Yang Genshuo pouring out a bowl of wine from a jar, somewhat surprised. Brother Shuo, are you cosplaying 3 bulls and you can't cross the hill? That nickname is pretty elegant, like your style, huh? What style? You like to play around with elegance, huh? We haven't even figured out the 3rd floor of our club yet, and you're already hooking up with college girls. Don't talk about that, it's bad luck. Just thinking about Chen wanting made Yang Genshuo feel like he'd swallowed a fly. He learned a valuable life lesson from this. Love really can be acted out. It's made him a little afraid of relationships. Guo Ziazi, brother Shuo. Look on the bright side. Breaking up before your bankruptcy is a good way to avoid trouble. Otherwise, if you wait until you have more and more assets and then want to break up, version T0 isn't kidding. Snap, very quickly, 50% of your assets gone. Makes sense. To be fair, Guo Ziazi often had to play the role of Yang Genshuo's confidant. Wow. Delicious. Another bowl. Like Yang Genshuo, Guo Ziazi didn't usually like drinking. He said that even a burp after a sip of beiju smelled bad. This bowl of wine, however, was different. Smooth on the palate, fragrant and delightful. How is my Starry River dream? Excellent. This stuff is really good. It lives up to such an elegant name. Where did you buy it? Buy it. How much do you think a 5 gin jar like this would sell for? I don't know much about this business, but it certainly won't be cheap. So, tell me, how does this wine compare to Maote? Doesn't it crush Maote? Very good. Now the question is, if I gave you this wine, would you be confident it would surpass Maote? Huh? Chapter 120 Yang Shi returns to the Donai dynasty. Regarding Yang Genshuo's claim that it surpassed Maote, Guo Ziazi, though recognizing it as a fine wine, hesitated to agree immediately. Maote has added value. How can this be the same? You want to sell a bottle for several thousand? Several thousand? Don't be ridiculous. At least, Yang Genshuo calculated that while the Starry Dream spirit wine had an impressive name, it was merely a common first-grade spirit brew, roughly equivalent to cheap spirit wine in the Danhero sect or Zhenhero sect. The so-called Starry was actually a naturally occurring spring that shimmered at night, incredibly cool and rich in water spirit energy. Soaking grains in this water, combined with the techniques of cultivators, could produce this spirit-infused wine. Theoretically, it was a grain wine, but using grains and spirit water from the cultivation world. The cost was low. 1 spirit stone could buy a jar. When Yang Fu and Shen Yao earned money, they would each hold a jar, insert a straw, and slowly sip. Yang Fu, skilled in water magic, could conjure 2 jars of chilled wine with a simple hand seal, thoroughly enjoying himself. But a spirit stone seems quite valuable. The martial arts strengthening pills he sold before could be bought with silver, in any quantity he wanted. This spirit wine, however, requires spirit stones. How should a product costing only a spirit stone be priced? This stumped Yang Genshuo. After all, a high price wouldn't sell well. He needed people to believe he could prolong life. Actually, this spirit wine wasn't fundamentally different from spirit rice, just with a different taste, making it more pleasant to drink. It was somewhere between spirit rice and elixirs. It didn't have immediate effects, but it was indeed beneficial to the body. Okay, ZIOZHI, from a product purchase price perspective, this stuff is more expensive than those tonics. Holy crap. Brother Shuo, you're not telling me you're making me sell a jar of this wine for over 500,000, are you? That's the plan. Brother Shuo, you're not just messing with me, you're messing with me. Forget it, I'll go sell you pills instead. I've just gotten a bit off things with those, and I can get repeat customers. Pills are good, but it's not a long-term business. We don't have the qualifications for this wine, but we could open a winery, and then we'd have a legal source of income. Right now, they're using 20 tons of natural gas. If they get more in the future, where will a food factory that's never sold anything outside get so much capital? What are they secretly producing that requires so much natural gas? It can't withstand scrutiny. If they do, something bad will happen. Yang Genshuo still wants to make money more steadily. After all, he's still just a mortal. Forget about cultivating immortality. He's far from being a grandmaster of the innate realm. Got it, you want to launder your assets, right? Brother Shuo, give me a heads up. What's the cost of this stuff? Does it exceed 500,000? Huh? No, right, there's no way to compare. You can't just say you can buy a jar for 5 bigu cakes, can you? Yang Genshuo felt like the material conversion formulas between these two worlds had completely confused him. Then I understand. Since that's the case, let's not make so much profit. Let's package this Starry Dream as a limited edition luxury item, 500,000 per jar, specifically to fleece the rich. Okay, the Yang family really doesn't lack those spirit stones. If this wine can be sold legally and legitimately, and converted into his assets, he'd accept 100,000 per jar, let alone 500,000. Besides, this stuff doesn't have any exaggerated effects. To prolong life, you have to drink it regularly, which is a long process. The person drinking it can't see their lifespan increase. At most, they'll feel a little more comfortable. To be fair, if you get something that's just legalized in the West, you'll feel comfortable too. And Guo Xiaozi, who is now in the zone, continued his analysis. Brother Shuo, liquor isn't like compressed biscuits, you can't just compress and bake it. It takes time, right? How much can we sell in a year? Can we even keep up with the production? Don't worry about production, just do whatever you want. I have a connection over there. Yang Genshuo glanced towards the study in the southeast. Guo Xiaozi nodded in understanding. Got it, it's from Southeast Asia. I need to think about this carefully, including the qualifications for selling liquor and all the necessary permits and registrations. It can't be more troublesome than opening a pharmaceutical factory. Indeed, Yang Genshuo nodded in agreement. If he could just open a pharmaceutical factory, he wouldn't have to go through all this trouble. Brother Shuo, I'm taking the rest of the liquor with me. Wait for my news. Guo Xiaozi went off to get to work. He planned to find a few more experts to taste the liquor and hear their opinions, to gather more material for future promotion and marketing. Technical terms like smooth on the palate, rich in soy sauce aroma, and sweet aftertaste, only a seasoned show-off could come up with those. Yang Genshuo found a new way to make money, which seemed quite feasible, and happily practiced his sword for a while. As he practiced, a loud sound emanated from within his body. It was as if all his muscles, bones, and skin had stretched out, and his height increased by a centimeter. At this moment, he felt something. I've reached the 5th level of body tempering. Although he had only been cultivating for a short time, just over a month, he couldn't withstand the amount of drugs he consumed. Ordinary people used ki-boosting and blood-tonifying powders and pills to strengthen their internal organs. Cultivators used marrow-cleansing pills, fire-tempering pills, blazing body-strengthening pills, and grade 2 dragon tiger golden pills. Just consuming these things had forcibly pulled him from a chubby, unhealthy body with no exercise foundation to the 5th level of body tempering. He only needed to move his muscles and bones slightly to advance smoothly. Next level, I need to cultivate my ki. Damn it, I also need to practice the mind clarity technique. The thought of sitting cross-legged all night cultivating ki made him uncomfortable. This thing was too boring. Sigh. Let's focus on nurturing first. Cultivating immortality is a long way off. Becoming a grandmaster of the innate realm is more reliable. Yang Genshuo never expected that his disdain for Yang Fujian, who lacks spiritual roots, would be less capable than Yang Fujian, who at least had talent in martial arts, blessing, vitality. Yang Genshuo casually sprinkled a blessing upon Yang Fujian. Yang Fujian, who was cultivating his energy, suddenly opened his eyes, feeling the warm golden light blessing upon his body. He pursed his lips, quickly stood up, and went to find his mother, Liu Zihan. Mother. The ancestor has blessed me. The ancestor didn't dislike Fujian. This was the first time in 8 years that he had received the ancestor's blessing. Liu Zihan's nose tingled. She touched Yang Fujian's head, tears welling up, and pulled Yang Fujian to kneel down in the ancestral hall. Thank you, ancestor, for caring for Jiner. He will definitely become the most outstanding martial artist in the Yang family in the future. Yes. Definitely. Yang Fujian's little face was also very serious. The recognition from the ancestor was very important to her and her son. Your descendant Yang Fujian feels the care from his ancestors and is even more devout to you. Incense value +10. Sigh. I'll have to get this kid a few demonic beasts when I have the chance. Yang Genshuo felt that the more he played this game, the deeper his bond with the Yang family became. Every character in it was a real person with flesh and blood, and their emotions were genuine. Every small choice he made was a life-altering event for those characters. At this time, Yang Genshuo's company had finished moving its equipment, and the Yang family had all been settled in the Liang dynasty. Everything was in place. After spending half a year with his family, Yang Shi stepped into the Danai dynasty again. This time, he had no worries. One person, one sword, and a large bag of supplies. The gold, money, sword saint has returned. Chapter 121 Thunder and Lightning Immortal Venerable? Since the Yang family disappeared, the market for independent cultivators in Qingxi County has declined year by year. Demonic cultivators have come to harass them, public security has deteriorated, and the business environment has plummeted. The once fair, just, harmonious, and transparent premier market for independent cultivators is gone. though occasionally some independent cultivators still linger there to exchange information, though a hint of wariness has crept into their expressions. Why is the county's treasure pavilion closed lately? There's nowhere to buy spirit rice, a cultivator wearing a hat asked in a tea house. Don't even mention it. It's all those demonic cultivators' fault. They robbed the transport team from the headquarters of the treasure pavilion and trapped the manager's entire family in the Soul Banner. They're in a terrible state. What can we do? My family has run out of food. Without spirit rice, my cultivation level won't be stable. Things are tense lately. The demonic cultivators are getting more and more arrogant. It's hard to even plant spirit rice. Everyone's storing spirit food. No one will sell it. The treasure pavilion probably won't risk doing business here anymore. If you want some, you can go to Jade Dragon County. There, the Law Enforcement Bureau protects them, and the treasure pavilion can still operate normally. Hearing the advice from the cultivator next to him, the hat-wearing rogue cultivator lowered his voice and whispered, "Fellow Taoist, do you have any surplus food at home? Could you lend me some to tide me over? You're so rude. What am I supposed to eat if I lend you some?" Unreasonable. Upon hearing this, the rogue cultivator immediately turned and left. Exactly. Someone kindly gave you pointers, and you're so shameless. You should know your place, impulsive fellow. The other rogue cultivators also criticized the one wearing the hat. After all, most of the rogue cultivators still drinking tea at Yang's tea house were of good character, and they were still hoping that the Yang family patriarch would return one day. This tea house was maintained by the rogue cultivators themselves, not for profit, but to leave a memento. The rogue cultivator wearing the hat wasn't angry after hearing this. A slight smile appeared on his lips. "What if I insist on you lending it to me?" A pair of bloody hands emerged from the ground and grabbed the rogue cultivator who was about to leave. A demonic cultivator. He's a demonic cultivator. The rogue cultivator was terrified. He was just a lowly rogue cultivator in the nascent soul stage, with weak strength and no ability to resist. Seeing this, the other rogue cultivators started running without saying a word. Thump. Thump. Pairs of bloody hands emerged from the ground, turning the entire first floor of the tea house into a sea of blood, with countless bloody hands floating in it, grabbing every cultivator. Hey, it's fate that we've gathered together. I want to preserve this fate with you all. Do you all have any objections? Damn it. It's a demonic cultivator at the high-level key refining stage. I can't escape. The strongest among the rogue cultivators shouted loudly. You actually dare to cause trouble in Yang County. Aren't you afraid that the Thunder Immortal Venerable will take you in? That's right. The Thunder Immortal Venerable has come to our Yang County many times. You dare to display your demonic powers here. You're dead. The Thunder Immortal Venerable will kill you like a dog. Shut up. The demonic cultivator took off his hat, revealing a charred face. His hands trembled slightly, and the bloody hands on the ground gripped the ankles of these rogue cultivators tightly, making a cracking sound of bones breaking. Thunder Immortal Venerable? He just a cowardly little man hiding his head and tail. He can't even protect himself now, and you still think he'll come to save you? Wishful thinking. You'll all become puppets in my blood pool. The hands in the blood pool grabbed these rogue cultivators tightly, trying to drag them into the blood pool. Your blood hand Taoist under the blood banner demon lord. What are you doing here? One of the rogue cultivators recognized the demonic cultivator. Hey, it's your honor to die by my hand. You deserve to die. The fat and thin Taoists died in Yang County. Are you going to follow their example? The rogue cultivators shouted fiercely, but their voices were weak. They tried various methods, but to no avail. Blood Hand Taoist's magic was extremely powerful. HMPH. My senior brother is just missing. Who said they were dead? You're the one who's going to die? Upon hearing the fat and thin Taoist's names, Blood Hand Taoist seemed to have his sore spot touched, his face turning fierce and ferocious, as if he wanted to devour all the rogue cultivators. At this moment, a voice came from the doorway. Boring. How boring. Since the Yang family head, there's no more coffee to drink. An old beggar leaned against the doorway, sighing deeply. Who are you? Blood Hand Taoist was suddenly startled. He hadn't even noticed when the old beggar had arrived, and his cultivation was definitely higher than his own. He was currently at the 9th level of key refining, just one step away from reaching the great perfection. After absorbing the power of these rogue cultivators, he would have a chance to break through. Put these people down. This old beggar will give you some face, or I'll give you something less dignified. Blood Demon Arm. Blood Hand Taoist struck first, a gigantic arm emerging from the ground, wielding a blood-red fist the size of a sandbag, and slamming it down on the old beggar. "Let me offer you a hearty drink, then draw my sword to vanquish the demon." Whoosh! The old beggar drew a peach wood sword from his robes, a silver sword aura erupting forth. The blood demon arm was cleaved into 8 pieces, a mass of flesh falling into the blood pool. Great perfection of ki refining. Bloodhand immediately understood his opponent's strength, but he didn't back down. Instead, he continuously attacked with Blood Soul Valley techniques, which the old beggar deflected one by one, constantly unleashing sword energy at Bloodhand Taoist, causing him to bleed profusely. "Good, Senior, your swordsmanship is superb, Senior, slay this demonic cultivator and save us." But Bloodhand's healing power was extremely strong. The more he fought, the stronger he became. The old beggar's swordsmanship was also extremely skillful, and his ki refining perfection cultivation far surpassed Bloodhand Taoist's, constantly pressuring him. Winning this duel was only a matter of time. Bloodhand, however, was filled with madness, neither dodging nor yielding, fighting to the death. Something's wrong. Years of experience in the martial world made the old beggar sense something was amiss, and he suddenly jumped up. Whoosh! A black wind swept in from behind, demonic energy slamming the old beggar away, dozens of souls clinging to him and frantically gnawing at him. Break! Sword energy overflowed from the old beggar's body, and all the ghosts died. "Hey old beggar, you actually dared to interfere in the affairs of our Blood Soul Valley? Then you can stay here with your old bones too." Another demonic cultivator carrying a soul-summoning banner stepped forward. He was also at the ki refining perfection realm, just like the old beggar. Damn it! So insidious. With the 2 demonic cultivators attacking, the old beggar was no match, quickly being beaten until he coughed up blood. The trapped rogue cultivators were filled with despair. "It's over, there's really no hope now, unless that Thunder Immortal arrives." Boom! From underground, a figure emerged, a thunder sword piercing towards Bloodhand Taoist. His demonic artifacts instantly exploded, and the talismans all over his body were shattered by the lightning. Thud! Bloodhand Taoist was pierced through the heart by a sword. His body crackled with lightning, instantly turning into a charred corpse. Another demonic cultivator was shocked upon seeing this. Thunder Immortal, then he quickly fled on his summoning banner. Yang Shi stomped the ground. Divine ability, Earthquake Wave. Rumble. An extremely powerful wave swept across the demonic cultivator from the ground, instantly freezing him in place. Yang Shi threw out his thunder sword. Thud! All the magical treasures of the ki refining great perfection demonic cultivator exploded, pinning him to the wall, turning into a charred mess. "Senior, I'll repay you for your life." The old beggar, helped by Yang Shi's hand, stood up and asked doubtfully, "Fellow Taoist, do you know me?" Here Yang Shi, now disguised, smiled but didn't say much. He turned around and cupped his hands in greeting to the rogue cultivators in the shop. "Do you all know where the Thunder Immortal Venerable you just mentioned is?" The rogue cultivators, "Last night I thought I'd stay up all night to write 3 chapters, but I forced myself to write despite being sleepy, and it got worse and worse. In the end, I wrote a huge mess that I couldn't even swallow, so I deleted it all. I'll continue writing today, owing 2 more chapters, a total of 5 chapters owed. I'll make up for it as soon as possible." Chapter 122 Where the hell did you run off to with the thunderclap sword? Who is the Thunder Immortal Venerable? The rogue cultivators stared at Yang Shi, who held a long sword crackling with dense lightning, with 2 demonic cultivators at his feet who had just been instantly killed by the lightning sword. "Isn't this obvious? What's with this immortal venerable? Are you kidding us?" PFFT, Yang Genshuo spat out a mouthful of water, shouting, "Catch the immortal. This outfit really does resemble a powerful Thunder Immortal Venerable." If Yang Shi said he was a martial arts cultivator, probably no one would believe him. There was no way around it. Yang Shi's weapon was too conspicuous. The thunderclap sword. It was a treasure weapon that Murin Ziyin herself used. Before going to the Cloud-Hidden Spirit sect, she didn't trust the 2 underlings she had taken in outside, so she split this treasure weapon in 2, giving the scabbard to Ding Zhen and the blade to Yang Shi. Yang Shi didn't know how his senior sister located him. In a flash, it flew from the horizon into his hands. This thunderclap sword could break all laws. With 1 strike, all passively triggered talismans and magical artifacts would be suppressed, unable to be activated at all. The blood-handed Taoist and the other demonic cultivator wielding the soul-summoning banner possessed numerous life-saving techniques, but under the thunderclap sword, they were as naked as nails, killed with a single strike. Of course, If they understood the characteristics of the thunderclap sword and actively activated their magical treasures and talismans by injecting spiritual power, they could offer some resistance. But this thunderclap sword also had another characteristic: it slays evil. It specifically counters demonic cultivators, even more ruthlessly than the 5 elements mutual restraint. Yang Shi could now fight against a key refining grand perfection cultivator using only his physical strength. Using this thunderclap sword, killing demonic cultivators would be incredibly easy. This was also the source of his confidence in returning to the Great Night Dynasty. Hearing the words of the rogue cultivators, Yang Shi pondered for a moment and roughly guessed who the Thunder Immortal Venerable they were talking about was. So he nodded. "I didn't expect you to still see through my disguise, the rogue cultivators, the old beggar. No, is your concealment technique really that subtle? I didn't even notice you were hiding until you told me. Fine, you're the one with the higher cultivation level, so you get to decide. I won't argue with you. Your immortal venerable's immortal techniques are so superb, they've broadened our horizons. I never imagined such an arrogant demonic cultivator would be as pathetic as a chicken or a dog in your hands. Immortal venerable, would you like to take me as a disciple? I have a son born with 4 spiritual roots, a rare cultivation genius." A barrage of flattery poured in. Meanwhile, the old beggar stared at the 2 corpses, his mind racing. Could he withstand a single sword strike from the Thunder Immortal Venerable in his full power form? Perhaps, since lightning magic had no restraint on his own techniques. But he estimated he wouldn't last more than a few rounds before being slain by the Thunder Immortal Venerable. The most terrifying thing was, he couldn't sense even the slightest fluctuation of spiritual energy from the Thunder Immortal Venerable. Even after unleashing such a powerful attack, his aura remained so naturally concealed. His concealment technique was truly impressive. If he encountered him on the road, he'd probably just mistake him for an ordinary innate grandmaster. I'll have to be more careful in the future. The old beggar's mind raced, yet he still uttered flattering words. The immortal venerable's magic is indeed powerful. This old beggar has witnessed a calamity caused by the demonic cultivators. His reputation is well deserved. That's natural. I will definitely wipe out those demonic cultivators. If any of you have time, please help spread the word so that the people of Blood Soul Valley know how powerful I am, Yang Shi said naturally. The rogue cultivators were all impressed by the Thunder Immortal Venerable's demeanor and promised to spread the word about what happened today. Yang Shi felt around on the 2 corpses and found 2 storage rings and 2 damaged demonic weapons, which he stuffed into his pocket. This tea house is nice. I'll have a cup of tea before I leave. Yang Shi sat down in Yang's board game tea house, drank a cup of ordinary tea, wrapped his sword, and left. Yang Genshuo was a little confused by this move. No. Yang Shi has many titles, including Sword Saint of the Metal Element, Batman, Muscle Giant, and Stone, but not Thunder Immortal Venerable, right? Why does Yang Shi call himself that? What are you doing? Yang Genshuo, though confused, felt a sense of awe, vaguely sensing a familiar demonic killing aura. The ancestral home in Qingxi County, which originally belonged to the Yang family, and the 15 acres of spiritual fields were currently being managed by the surrounding rogue cultivators. Yang Shi glanced at it and then ignored it. Being alone and without assets was the only way to ensure he had no ties. Although he had the blood robe and blood skin, 2 demonic artifacts, to conceal himself, caution was paramount. He couldn't be greedy. When my Yang family has the strength to officially return, I will take over the ancestral home again. As soon as Yang Shi left Qingxi County, the thunderclap sword at his waist suddenly rose up on its own. Buzz! The thunderclap sword flickered slightly, pointing in a direction. Crackling in the dead of night, streaks of lightning flashed, revealing a chase scene. A cultivator was riding ahead, with countless cultivators chasing behind. Charge! His spiritual energy is exhausted. Capture the Thunder Immortal Venerable, and you can get 5,000 spirit stones from the Imperial Preceptor. Today, he won't be able to escape. Ding Zhen shouted angrily as he ran. You scum! You actually collude with demonic cultivators. No wonder we've failed to eradicate demons for so many years. It's all because of your obstruction. When I return, I will definitely tell all cultivators and mortals in the world what kind of thing their trusted law enforcement bureau really is. As Ding Zhen spoke, several bolts of lightning shot out from the scabbard on his back, flashing towards the pursuing cultivators and repelling several of them. Ha ha ha. Then we won't let you go even more. Today is your doom. I want to see who this damned Thunder Immortal Venerable who travels in the dead of night really is. The pursuing cultivators laughed wildly. seemingly certain of Ding Zhen's defeat. Ding Zhen's forehead was covered in sweat, and he had swallowed countless spirit-restoring pills. But his body was still constantly on the verge of spiritual energy depletion. There were too many cultivators chasing him. Interspersed among them were numerous military legions composed of martial cultivators, each with a venomous, viper-like spirit watching him intently, ready to pounce at any opportunity. If not for the sword sheath protecting him, he would have long since perished in the wilderness. Since Murengzian left the Donai dynasty 11 years ago, the demonic cultivators, previously defeated, have become active again, growing ever stronger. They've reached a scale that even the Zhuangshi sect couldn't successfully subdue. The Zhuangshi sect disciples have suffered heavy casualties. Therefore, the elders of the Zhuangshi sect now rarely allow their disciples to descend the mountain, only permitting them to go down to exorcise demons when accompanied by Foundation establishment stage elders. The demonic cultivators of Blood Soul Valley simply cannot achieve this level of power. A mysterious and powerful force is secretly aiding Blood Soul Valley. With their support, their strength has surpassed that of the Donai dynasty's only immortal sect, Zhuangshi sect. Ding Zhen is secretly investigating this force, but they have numerous spies, preventing him from finding concrete evidence. Instead, he is constantly exposed, facing perilous situations. Fortunately, he had two identities. By day, he was a rising demonic giant, like the first rays of dawn. By night, he transformed into the vengeful thunder immortal, vanquishing demons everywhere. By switching between these identities, no one had been able to find any fault with him. But a few days ago, he finally found evidence of a conspiracy between the Donai dynasty's legal affairs department and the elders of Blood Soul Valley, and everything became clear. Only the Donai dynasty's premier military institution had the power to help Blood Soul Valley fight against the Zhuangshi sect. However, what awaited him was a prearranged trap. He was ambushed by the Donai legal affairs department, including a Foundation establishment stage expert he had never seen or heard of before, who immediately launched a ruthless attack. Ding Zhen was no pushover either. He possessed the Thunderclap sword sheath and had achieved Foundation establishment using the spiritual artifact left to him by Murengzian, making his strength vastly different from before. He used all his strength to severely injure the Foundation establishment expert. However, he himself was also caught in a fierce battle with the Legal Affairs Department cultivators. The Legal Affairs Department was an organization that operated as a cohesive unit. They suffered repeated defeats while fighting the demons, but when it came to killing Ding Zhen, they employed a variety of methods. They made Ding Zhen, a Foundation establishment cultivator, realize the power of the Law Enforcement Division cultivators. He used 3 Grade 3 Thunder Magic Talismans to create a path, and then fled. He has been fleeing ever since, and is now on the verge of exhaustion. Looking at the pursuing army behind him, his eyes are filled with endless regret. Senior Sister Muren, I have done my best, but in the end, good cannot prevail over evil. From now on, this great Nai dynasty will probably become the domain of Blood Soul Valley. Life and death are determined by fate, success and failure are determined by heaven. From the day I became a spy for the Zhuangshi sect, I never thought I would have a good ending, but there's still one thing I cannot forgive. His veins bulged, and he gritted his teeth. Damn you, immortal Yang Shi. Where the hell did you run off to with the Thunderclap sword? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123 Sword and Sheath Combined, Invincible Under Heaven. Mentioning Yang Shi's name, Ding Zhen's face contorted with rage. Years ago, he had kindly helped Yang Shi repair his demonic artifact, even teaching him how to conceal it and use its power for self-defense. And yet, to trick him into giving him a few second-grade talismans, Yang Shi had uttered such an awful line. Sect leader Ding, you don't want your undercover work exposed, do you? Was that something a decent person would say? Even now, the thought gave him goosebumps. Of course, this was just a minor incident, not enough to make him curse Yang Shi's immortal. What was most infuriating was that Murengzian had given him 3 things before leaving: a sword sheath, a Foundation establishment artifact, and a letter. The letter detailed everything she had done over the years, as well as the connection she could utilize within the Zhuangshi secto, and she emphasized her master, warning him never to seek help from Lei Mingfang unless he couldn't find anyone else. as it would bring misfortune. She had also taught him how to use a Foundation Establishment artifact to achieve the Foundation Establishment Dao. The largest section also describes her Thunderclap sword, an extremely rare lightning-type magic weapon obtained by Murin Zion in a secret realm. A mid-grade magic weapon. Even when split in two, each part possesses the power of a low-grade magic weapon. The sword itself is a top-tier killing weapon, capable of defeating all techniques with a single strike. The scabbard can hold countless amounts of spiritual energy and has been inscribed with numerous lightning techniques by Murin Zion. When Dingzhen infuses his metal-type spiritual energy, he can activate Murin Zion's lightning techniques, making them extremely sharp. Moreover, the scabbard can actively protect its master, saving his life multiple times. Most importantly, when the sword and scabbard are combined, the weapon can unleash its maximum power, releasing the immortal slaying thunder sword technique. Murin Zion said that Yang Shi was exceptionally talented and could become her powerful ally. Together, relying on this weapon, they could kill that Foundation Establishment stage demonic cultivator. However, no sooner had Murin Zion left than Yang Shi disappeared. And he ran quite far away, becoming undetectable. Without any help, and with half of the treasure taken away, Dingzhen had been furious for the past 11 years. He cursed Yang Shi even in his dreams. If only you had given me that sword, things wouldn't have ended like this today. Yang Shi, you have betrayed senior sister Murin's trust. I will haunt you even as a ghost. Dingzhen's spiritual energy was exhausted, and he was pounced on by the venomous snakes of the army spirit locked on from behind. Snap! The scabbard protected him, unleashing a lightning strike that repelled the venomous snake phantom. The scabbard floated on Dingzhen's body, erupting with powerful lightning, deterring the group of cultivators and martial arts legions that wanted to pounce on him. How this thunder immortal has indeed fallen. This scabbard is a top-tier treasure. If it could become my weapon, it would surely make my Viper army even more powerful, invincible. Such treasures recognize their masters. With your demonic arts, how could you possibly refine this lightning-type magic weapon? Killing him means it will be without a master. I don't believe a scabbard without a master can resist me. Alright. Let's take it back to the governor first. Don't think that just because he's injured, he can issue orders in his place. Don't forget who the governor's master is, TCH. Just a weak martial artist. How strong can he be? The governor is a Foundation Establishment cultivator. Is he afraid of that person? You call the martial saint a weak martial artist, just an old relic. Forget it, let's quickly capture this person first. My men are exhausted after 2 days of running. HMPH. The leaders of the two legions were both high-level key refining cultivators, but one led a cultivator legion, and the other led a martial artist legion. Bao Shingbao, leading the cultivator legion, clearly looked down on martial cultivators. Although martial cultivators possessed strong physiques and were enhanced by military formations and spirits, they were all exhausted after 2 days of marching. Fortunately, they had worn down the greatly weakened Thunder Immortal Venerable to his limit. The soldiers surrounded Dingzhen. Two key refining stage leaders stepped forward. All they needed to do was break the now dull scabbard to capture this man, claim a large reward, get promoted, and make a fortune. They could even get a share of the spoils when the world changed drastically in the future. Thinking of the promises made above, the two were overjoyed. Dingzhen weakly snorted. Two scoundrels. As they approached, a figure completely devoid of spiritual energy emerged from underground. The scabbard suddenly vibrated. Dingzhen felt the scabbard's joyful trembling and suddenly realized something. Could it be? Rumble! A wave of energy emanated from underground, trees swayed, and the earth shook. The exhausted soldiers collapsed to the ground. The two leaders also felt dizzy and unsteady. Could it be an earthquake? But the next second, a lightning sword emerged from the ground. Boom! Rolling lightning struck Bao Shingbao's vitals. He was terrified. All his magical artifacts malfunctioned at that moment. He only had time to activate his own demonic artifact, a tombstone. Boom! A large hole was pierced in the tombstone, the lightning undiminished. Hiss! At the critical moment, the military spirit venomous snake rushed down to save its master. It blocked the fatal blow for Bao Shingbao. Then, the military spirit was shattered by the lightning, turning into a wisp of smoke and dissipating into the air. PFFT. 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 The next second, the cultivators in the same formation coughed up blood and collapsed. Bao Shingbao survived, but his army fell. You son of a bitch, you finally showed yourself. Ha ha ha, Ding Zhen laughed and cursed. Yang Shi was speechless. I traveled 1,000 miles to save you, and this is how you speak to your benefactor? Enough nonsense, sword and sheath unite. Ding Zhen used the last bit of spiritual energy he had accumulated to push the sheath onto the thunderclap sword in Yang Shi's hand. Rumble. Lightning surged, dark clouds gathered. At this moment, the mid-grade treasure, the thunderclap sword, finally became complete. The Great Law Enforcement Legion, known for its ability to rival Foundation establishment cultivators, trembled under the thunderclap sword's power. One cultivator legion was utterly destroyed, and the other martial arts legion was at its last gasp. Two high-level key-refining cultivators retreated violently. Run. At this moment, even a second's hesitation was disrespectful to a mid-grade treasure. Run? Too late. Immortal slaughtering thunder sword formation, Yang Shi raised the thunderclap sword. A ring appeared in the sky, directly covering several miles around. Boom 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 boom. Lightning bolts transformed into thousands of purple thunder swords, annihilating all enemies within the formation. Poof! Baosheng Bao collapsed to the ground, pierced through the chest by 10 lightning swords. Crack! Another leader, carrying the military spirit of the martial cultivator legion, was instantly reduced to smoke by a lightning sword before he could even unleash his power. PFFT PFFT PFFT, a shower of lightning swords annihilated everyone. The complete thunderclap sword fell from the sky, embedding itself between Yang Shi and Ding Zhen. Having unleashed its power, the thunderclap sword's blade and scabbard were dull and lifeless, resembling an ordinary mortal weapon. The thunderclap sword is dormant. It will take some time to regain its power, Ding Zhen said weakly. Phew, it's good I killed them all, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to catch up, Yang Shi sighed, feeling weak. Although the attack relied mostly on the power of the weapon itself, it had drained a significant amount of his life essence, and he desperately needed rest. Ding Zhen stared at Yang Shi, a torrent of complaints tumbling out, unsure where to begin. He usually used very vulgar language, and now that he was too weak to defeat Yang Shi, he feared he might get beaten up if he said anything. But he felt uneasy if he didn't curse. Seeing Ding Zhen's hesitant expression, Yang Shi patted him on the shoulder. We're both under Senior Sister Murin's command, so there's no need for thanks. I'll take you to a safe place to rest. Yang Shi grabbed Ding Zhen and jumped onto the giant winged bat that flew over. Ding Zhen, who the hell needs to thank you? Chapter 124 Searching for the Martial Saint. Thank you so much, Brother Shi, for saving my life. Ding Zhen looked at Yang Shi after he took off his clothes. His muscular physique and towering body exerted a tremendous pressure on the weakened Ding Zhen, making his manners much more civilized. The two flew for half a day and found a place to rest in a remote town. No need to be polite. Senior Sister Muring said that we brothers should help each other. I arrived just in time. If I had been any later, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Yes. If I had been any later, I would have been exposed. From then on, there would have been no Thunder Immortal to deter the demonic path, and the truth of the Donai dynasty would have been unknown to everyone. If I had been any later, I wouldn't have been able to get the complete thunderclap sword. Ding Zhen clenched his fist. Good, good. You're after my scabbard. I think you're even more demonic than the demonic path itself. No wonder your disciple was able to win the demonic path killing championship back then. You were born to do this. The Great Nai Law Enforcement Bureau and Blood Soul Valley have joined forces. Yes, the Great Nai dynasty is rotten to the core. The Xiang family's law enforcement bureau is full of demonic people. The extermination of demons is facing numerous obstacles, and its future is bleak. Why not just kill them all? Those who could be killed have already left. If Senior Sister Murin were here, they wouldn't be allowed to be so arrogant. Is there no one else in the Zhuangshi sect? I see there are quite a few Foundation Establishment stage elders there. Demonic cultivators also have Foundation Establishment stage cultivators. And you know that the cultivation speed of the demonic path is very fast. Their growth rate is much faster than the Zhuangshi sect's disciple training. With this shift, it's now difficult for the Zhuangshi sect to achieve complete suppression. Ding Zhen looked heartbroken. Although he had been trying his best, the situation was still irreversibly tilting towards the demonic path. The entire Great Nai dynasty was in ruins, with countless deaths. Listening to their conversation, Yang Genshuo gained a new understanding of the situation in the Great Nai dynasty. It seems the Yang family's decision to seek refuge in the Demon Wind Forest all these years was correct. Otherwise, facing the targeting of the Xiang family, Blood Soul Valley, and even the Yang Shi's hall of worship, they would surely have perished. It's just that I didn't expect things to have reached such a tense state. This is truly infuriating. With the world in such chaos, how am I supposed to farm? The Liang dynasty doesn't have these kinds of problems. Wherever Yang Shi went, he left footprints and maps, allowing Yang Genshuo to see the locations of all the spiritual lands. The Liang dynasty has relatively few spiritual lands, and most of them are fire attribute fields, requiring fire attribute seeds to grow, a very demanding condition. The hybrid first-generation spiritual rice and wheat in Yang Genshuo's possession couldn't be planted there. The Danai dynasty, on the other hand, has many spiritual lands, all of which are attribute neutral, allowing the planting of any attribute of crops, a naturally productive dynasty. If the Yang family wanted to acquire more useful spiritual lands, the Danai dynasty would be the best option. But now, the situation has been completely ruined by the demonic cultivators. No one can properly farm and develop. Upon meeting, they killed countless blood-sucking, soul-refining rogue cultivators, significantly reducing their numbers. Yang Genshuo felt that if he wanted to farm properly now, he had to eliminate the demonic cultivator camp first. However, the combined strength of the three demonic cultivator factions was something even the Yang Shi greatly feared, and the Yang family had no resources to get involved in this battle. But we can annoy the Xiang family. With Ding Zhen's help, we should be able to pose a great threat to them. The Xiang family's ancestor was none other than Yang Shi of the Offering Hall, who was at the 5th level of Foundation establishment 11 years ago, and is now probably around the 6th level. Ding Zhen is at least at the 2nd level of Foundation establishment. With a thunderclap sword, he might not be without a fighting chance. We need to firmly bind Ding Zhen to the Yang family's ship. He is currently the highest level cultivator Yang Shi can find, and a fellow cultivator who shares a sword with him. They are on the same side from the start. Manifestation, win over Ding Zhen, and he can help you fulfill your long-cherished wish. Yang Shi's body trembled violently, as if he could see that day approaching. Yang Shi's lifelong ambition has never changed. He must avenge the massacre of his family with his own hands. His urgent desire to break through to the innate Grandmaster realm is a testament to this ultimate wish. He is already 49 years old, his body is at its peak, and if he doesn't give it his all, his physical condition will decline in the future, and he may never be able to progress again. No matter how strong he is not a cultivator and doesn't have a long lifespan. He must seize every second. After meeting Ding Zhen, Yang Shi and Ding Zhen had a very pleasant conversation. After Yang Shi explained the reasons for his years of seclusion, Ding Zhen was deeply moved. So it was you who killed those fat and thin Taoists. Good. Those two were ruthless and had no bottom line, and their talent was extremely high. If you hadn't killed them back then, Blood Soul Valley would probably have 2 more Foundation Establishment stage demonic cultivators now. You don't need to worry about Yang Shi. I've already spread the information that the Xiang family is colluding with demonic cultivators. The Yang Shi sect has been greatly angered by the demonic attacks in recent years. As the patriarch of the Xiang family, although Yang Shi didn't cultivate demonic arts, he still mismanaged his clansmen and has been temporarily placed under house arrest by the Yang Shi sect master. The Xiang family is extremely worried. Oh? There's such good news. This was truly the best news Yang Shi had heard since leaving the mountain. Yang Shi was the most powerful person in the Xiang family. If he was placed under house arrest, what was the Xiang family worth? Originally, he planned to seek revenge on the Xiang family after breaking through his cultivation level, but this sudden good news gave Yang Shi other ideas. He asked hastily, does the Xiang family still have any Foundation Establishment cultivators? Well, not openly, but it's hard to say. The Foundation Establishment cultivator I fought 3 days ago? I'd never heard of him before. He seems to be some kind of hermit. Just like your Yang family, hiding his cultivation. A hermit. Yang Shi nodded. He knew the head of this large family wasn't stupid. He wouldn't reveal his entire family's strength. The Xiang family has been operating in the Danai dynasty for many years. Their foundation is definitely considerable. We can't underestimate them. The burning passion in Yang Shi's heart slowly cooled. During their rest these past few days, the two had a long and open conversation, and the slight resentment disappeared. Ding Zhen, knowing about the massacre of the Yang and Xiang families, was also deeply indignant. That Xiang family deserves to die. Brother Shi, rest assured, one day when we wipe out the demonic path, Not a single member of the Xiong family will escape. Before that, I need to go to the Anaidu city to find someone. I need to return to the Xuanxi sect to report my findings to Lei Mingfeng. Be careful of the law enforcement division when you go to the Anaidu city. I suspect they've been infiltrated. Alright, we'll meet here in a month. The two agreed on a time and then went to handle their own affairs. The thunderclap sword, having regained its power, split in two again, with Ling Zhen and Yang Shi each taking their half with regret. Several days later, after arriving in Danaidu city, Yang Shi stood on the bustling street, watching the people come and go, looking bewildered. Ancestor, how am I supposed to find someone I've never met before? Yang Genshuo stared at the hundreds of thousands of character cards on the screen, still scrolling by. He was speechless. Damn it, you're not going to make me flip through them all one by one, are you? Are you treating your ancestor like a beast of burden? No, I have to find another way. Chapter 125 Undercover in the Department of Law. Previously, flipping through character cards was Yang Genshuo's greatest pleasure in this game. 2 years ago, he had little else to do besides flipping character cards. Now it's different, he can't even keep up with all three screens. He can watch Yang Fushuo refine pills for hours, and that kid is a chatterbox, always wanting to chat with the ancestor and offer up any good items he finds. Flipping through a large number of ordinary character cards is torture for Yang Genshuo, extreme torture. Can't this game have a one-click filtering function? Yang Genshuo said, then realized something was wrong. The game did have a filtering function. Cultivators have a faint spiritual aura, and the aura is even more concentrated for higher-level cultivators. So he could quickly identify which person was a cultivator. But Yang Shi was looking for a martial artist. I can't tell at all. Yang Genshuo flipped through several character cards, his mind completely numb. Out of so many people, only a few hundred were cultivators, most were mortals. This didn't reduce his workload at all. After thinking for a while, Yang Genshuo felt there was another way. Manifestation. You just need to search diligently, and you will naturally meet the martial saint. Yang Shi nodded. Yes, ancestor. Although he didn't understand the principle, he was certain that what the ancestor said made sense. Yang Shi then used the simplest method to search and inquire, posing as an ordinary innate grandmaster. Yang Genshuo breathed a sigh of relief. As long as you believe, you'll increase your luck by 30. You can even find secret realms. Finding a person is a piece of cake, right? Mechanical work is too troublesome, it's better to leave it to metaphysics. We can continue watching Yang Fushuo refine pills. We can also see Yang Fu and junior sister's daily life. Yang Fuking seems a bit unhappy in the Liang dynasty lately. Oh, I get it. After leaving the Demon Wind Forest, all her friends are gone, and there are only people here. Yang Fujin is progressing faster and faster recently. He'll probably master the mind clarity technique soon, and then he'll be at the 6th level of body tempering. Huh? Where did Huzi go? Why has he been so elusive lately? Because Huzi wasn't a direct descendant of the Yang family, Yang Genshuo didn't have his perspective and could only observe his actions through the eyes of the Yang family members. After the Yang family moved into the Liang dynasty, Huzi seemed to be busy with other things besides running a tea house, and he was often nowhere to be seen. Yang Genshuo watched the 3 large screens and fast-forward, time flashing by quickly. A few days later, he saw Huzi riding a horse, leading a long rope with a string of black ghosts tied to its nap. All of you, behave yourselves. From today onwards, you are all members of the Yang family. Obey the laws of the Yang family. The first one is civility. Slap, I'll teach you black devils about civility. Those who are uncivilized will be given a 10-pull set of gacha pulls, guaranteed to keep you in bed for a week. Hiss. The black devils shuddered. Zhang Xiaobei walked out, looking at Huzi with shock. Where did you get these black barbarians from? The world doesn't lack black devils, it just lacks the eyes to see them. I searched patiently and finally found these black devils in the mountains. They rely on their natural strength to rob passing caravans for a living. I just packed them all up and brought them over, to let them farm properly and educate them. But won't these black barbarians cause any trouble? Huzi's face revealed a cruel smile. They better not, otherwise my newly mastered lightning thousand whip technique will have nowhere to be used, and my mind won't be at peace. Good heavens! Yang Genshuo was completely shocked. Yang Shi comprehended the deal with money. Huzi entered the deal with black devils. They even developed an upgraded version of martial arts, the innate farmer's sacred body. No wonder Tiger was able to tame a key refining stage wolf before reaching the innate Grandmaster level. He'd be beaten to death if he didn't submit. Half a month had passed in the game, but only an hour in reality. On the Yang family's side, apart from Yang Fuking's slightly weakened state of mind, everyone else was doing quite well. Yang Shi had also made some progress. The martial saint had indeed appeared multiple times in Danai City, as he occasionally helped the Danai Law Enforcement Bureau train martial artists. The martial saint's strength was unfathomable. Even the key refining stage immortals of the Law Enforcement Bureau treated him with utmost respect. Furthermore, the royal family of the Danai dynasty seemed to hold the martial saint in high esteem. However, the martial saint's whereabouts were elusive. No one knew when he would return or leave. The only ones with information were likely the higher-ups of the Danai Law Enforcement Bureau, but Yang Shi had no way to contact them. According to Ding Zhen, the Danai Law Enforcement Bureau had actually been feigning weakness, but their inner strength was extremely high, comparable to Blood Soul Valley. If you were to slip up, even with a thunderclap sword, escape would be extremely difficult. But Yang Shi, as expected of someone protected by destiny, had a new recruitment notice issued by the Law Enforcement Bureau today. Martial cultivators who join the newly established legion will receive personal guidance from the martial saint. Yang Shi read the recruitment notice, a smile playing on his lips. Our ancestor was indeed a prophet. He actually got his wish. Yang Genshuo smirked. Is this destiny? It's too heaven-defying. However, upon closer examination, Yang Genshuo realized it was understandable. For the past half-month, rumors have been circulating throughout the Danai dynasty about the deaths of 2 legions of the Law Enforcement Bureau, said to be the work of the Thunder Immortal Venerable. But the Thunder Immortal Venerable also appeared in Qingxi County at the same time and killed 2 recently rising demonic cultivators, creating a cloud of suspicion. Rumors circulated that the Thunder Immortal Venerable possessed the ability to create clones, specializing in killing evil and heretical sects. The Danai Law Enforcement Bureau's warrant for the arrest of Thunder Immortal was disliked by many cultivators, as Thunder Immortal had always been a killer of demonic cultivators. Eliminating 2 high-level key refining demonic cultivators had averted countless disasters. Meanwhile, the Yang Shi sect reacted, claiming that the 2 Law Enforcement Bureau legions were controlled by demonic cultivators and deserved their deaths. They also issued a stern warning to the Danai dynasty's royal family, demanding they investigate the internal problems of the Law Enforcement Bureau. The Danai dynasty's royal family did not respond. And today, they began recruiting soldiers. So, is war about to break out? Yang Genshuo vaguely sensed an impending storm. Perhaps Yang Shi could go into hiding as a common soldier, get close to the martial saint, and also find some information. Yang Shi thought so too. Ancestor, when the time comes, senior brother Ding Zhen and I will go together, one infiltrating Blood Soul Valley and the other infiltrating the Law Enforcement Bureau, to cooperate with the Yang Shi sect in eliminating the 2 evil sects. That way, we won't have failed senior sister Murin's teachings. Senior brother Bai will be at peace down there. Yang Shi was loyal and never forgot those who had been kind to him. At this moment, he was not only concerned about the blood feud of the Yang family, but also about Bai Heo and Murin Zian. He registered and entered the Law Enforcement Bureau under the alias Liu Shi. Yang Shi had thought he would face many dangers before meeting the martial saint, but unexpectedly, on his first day, all of them, the innate grandmasters, were summoned together. Today, the martial saint will impart the path of cultivation to you. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.